Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados live on Think Critical YouTube. I almost said Patreon. This is a YouTube video. We're going to have some fun here. A fantastic panel, and we do have returning after taking an entire weekend off. We have Casanova Sully.
Hello.
Who's apparently now the most romantic man in the world now that he's got a girlfriend.
I am.
Can't even hang out with the fellas anymore.
It was, it was a game time decision. No, it wasn't. That was a week in advance, but it was more of like, no, I ended up staying at her place all weekend. And it was my first Valentine's Day in several years. And she deserves a good Valentine's Day. She makes me sandwiches. So she gets rose petals on her bed. She does. Thank you, baby.
You put out rose petals?
Fucking A, I did.
Oh,
dude.
Feeling this is worse than we thought.
Yeah, this is tough. Also, I don't know if making sandwiches and rose petals on the bed are a 1-to-1 ratio. It feels like a sandwich is a lot more than just some rose petals on the bed.
I don't kiss and
Next
tell.
thing you know, he's getting the bubble bath ready with a little glass of champagne. This is for you, honey. You're special.
Hey, man, I made her chocolate fondue. And that's the way to a woman's heart. It's chocolate.
Jeez.
You know how to make chocolate. You're in like
the old Sully thought that the way to a woman's heart was straight through her chest, but
with a wooden stake. Yeah, you should have seen those bloodsuckers I was hanging out with.
Man, I prefer the old Sully. Like, I'm tired of all these goddamn chicks in these fucking comics, man.
Don't you worry. I read
this matriarchy bullshit isn't gonna fly in here, Chief. And
oh my god, you want to hear it? Like, I read last week's new Ultimate X-Men number 424, which wrapped up that interesting story. And did anyone else read that out there? Anyone in the chat read that? Like, beautiful art, confusing story. I believe there's one half good male character in 24 bloody issues. I am so right about that book. I have been proven right, and I love it when I'm right.
Did you show it to your normie girlfriend and be like, look at this, girl. This is why girls can't write comic books. You see the art? It's beautiful. But the fucking writing? There's nothing even here.
Dude, nothing here. Yeah, no.
Ooh, we got a little bit of Wes impression there.
Wicked awesome, dude. You're getting it. I love it. You sound better than Affleck in Good Will Hunting. I'll tell you that much. That was the worst Boston accent I ever heard, and he grew up in Cambridge.
Yeah, he was pushing it hard in that one. So you had a good weekend.
Yeah, I had a great weekend. I made brunch too. I made sausage gravy and homemade buttermilk biscuits. The secret is when you're rolling the biscuit dough, you keep dropping in little cubes of ice cold butter, and you fold it and you fold it, and then you roll it, then you fold it again, and you roll it and put more butter in there, and then you get that flakiness, dude. Yeah, you get microscopic layers. This is science. Science. Believe the science. You get microscopic layers of butter for every time you fold the dough, and it makes it flaky, and that's what you want. You can do it.
I might want to date Sully.
Wow, exactly. I'm a romantic.
No, it's like you're preparing meats, the most romantic of the meats.
Gravy. Everybody loves gravy,
dude. Sausage gravy, yeah, man. She never had it before. I was like, yeah.
Aaron, look at him though. He's like glowing. He's not the same
I know. I know, it's like life has entered his body. He's got look at those rosy cheeks.
Oh my goodness.
He was literally like Colum in the chat like 3 weeks ago, and now look at him.
Yeah.
Now he's like, oh, what a feeling to be
I'm a believer. Saw her face, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, you know he's not walking anymore. He's skipping everywhere.
Now remember, Sully, you gotta take her down to the beach while in your head, I'm into something good place, and then clothesline a couple running the other way.
Ooh.
You gotta
that
join
sounds
hands,
like fun.
Take out another couple, then you know it's real.
Even his hat's crooked, man. It's incredible.
Yeah. He's got a new flavor. He's got some style to him now.
Oh shit! This whole thing.
You know, no longer likes land shark. I mean, he's like,
yeah,
up, man, right in front of him.
You leave my love of Jeff out of this.
Did you read it this week?
No, I didn't. I've been so happy that I've not read the Marvel books every week. It's like having a rotten tooth, and once you get it pulled, it's like now you realize, oh my god, I've been suffering all this time, and like and having good opinions about crap, literal crap, and trying.
So are you embarrassed when you said Marvel went like 21 for 24 a few weeks ago?
No, I was actually you should be where I was coming from. I enjoyed, like all the, but maybe it's like Stockholm syndrome, where you are the hostage and you're beginning to agree with your kidnappers.
So did you do anything dorky for this Valentine's thing, or was it just all normal stuff?
It was normal. Yeah, I got her the card. I got her the flowers. I got her the chocolates. I got reservations at the nicest steakhouse in town. It was really good. I got a bone-in ribeye, medium rare.
You didn't go and see a special screening of Short Circuit 2 or something fun?
No. That's problematic. Remember,
that's a romantic movie, dude.
Pretty in Pink was in theaters.
Actually, I went.
Dylan went to Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
I actually watched Youngblood with Rob Lowe and Cynthia Gibb and Patrick Swayze.
Oh, very nice.
That's a romantic movie.
Dylan, what do you think the odds are that Sully still has a waterbed?
Ooh.
Do they make water beds for those race car beds?
Room.
I missed you, Sully. I feel like I'm teasing you here, but we were having a good time.
It was good, and I watched last week's episode, and it was good to see Gabe, and it's good to see Jim. And speaking of Jim, I was doing chores all morning, and Jim had this really good podcast with Wakazashi Gray, with Wakazashi's Tea House. They did some just one issue in their series of Usagi Yojimbo, and it's good to hear Jim have absolute joy in his heart about comic books. And they're talking for an hour, rambling about a single 20-page issue, and it's really fun stuff. So check that stuff out if you like good comics podcasts.
Jim also liked Absolute Batman this week, dude.
Ooh.
It was a good issue. Did you get to check it out?
No.
What? Why aren't you reading? Oh, you don't support Absolute. Dylan, you know what I'm talking about, dude.
It was good. Yeah. The Poison Ivy issue. I liked it.
Heat, dude.
Yeah. The art was good. Ever since they had that dog shit guest artist, they've changed their ways. And they have, like, every guest artist after that has been great. Like that first one. That first one was terrible, and after that, they're like, "Man, what if we got good artists to fill in for Nick Dragotta?" And it's been great.
I will check it out just for Eric Canetti, just because you just
doing
said
this issue and the next
words.
one.
Really? Okay, I'll check it out.
An Eddie cover too, man.
Sick!
Yeah, God, he's so damn good.
Oh, he's so
good. I love Eric Canetti's art.
Yeah.
So, Dylan, you're a bit younger. Are you as romantic as Sully? Were you able to bring the heat on Valentine's quite to his level?
This was our second Valentine's Day together, so we went to
then, right?
Yeah, we went and saw Pretty in Pink, and then we went to Whole Foods, and she paid for ribeyes, and I cooked them, and so that was nice. We had some ribeyes, and then the next day she had reserved because what's it called? Like there's a St. Edward's State Park out here. They have the Lodge, which was like an old place where they used to like train priests and stuff, and now it's like a fancy hotel. She reserved a night there, so we went and stayed there, and that was cool because you can go walk around the state park and stuff, and it's right there in the water. So that was a good time.
Very nice.
Nice.
You know what the sexiest restaurant is? It's Arby's. You get a girl a Big Montana.
God damn it!
Hey,
we don't have the Big Montana anymore. How many times do we have to go over this?
Hey, you put some beef curtains right on the beef curtains right on the bun. Oh yeah,
he went there before I did.
Everything. Oh. I don't care what anybody says. Fucking an Arby's is a good place for a date night. It's got the meats.
Yeah, last date.
That's where you go to break up.
It's not you. It's me. Pass me the mayo.
Dude, you know you got it. Like, you've got it when you take a girl to Arby's on a date and she doesn't break up with you. It means you're bringing something. You know what I mean?
The Big Montana.
The ultimate test.
The Big Montana.
She got you by the short and curly fries. Yeah.
Oh,
snap.
So, Tommy, you've been married longer than any of us. I feel like I've been married a long time, over 10 years, but you've actually got grandkids and everything. Are you guys still celebrating the Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I've been married. This June will be 30 years. So been together for a long time.
Congrats.
Been together about 32. But yeah, I had a business meeting in Orlando, Florida, a trade show. In fact, I think I talked to you when I was there, Wes. But yeah, it was great. So I took my wife because she's a big Disney guy. So she likes Mickey Mouse and all that good stuff. We used to live in Southern California. I'm not a big Disney. I don't only go into Disneyland. So they had annual passes. Her and my daughters used to go 2 times a month. I don't know what they do there, but they go. Well, we were going to Orlando. She's only been to Disney World once. So for Valentine's Day, we went to Disney World the Magic Kingdom, which is I think the same as Disneyland or their version of it, and then took her to one of the princess restaurants or something that she wanted to go to. So it was fun. And then I still got in trouble because I didn't get her flowers. I'm like, dude, we just spent thousands of dollars at Disney World. Got her a purse that she wanted there. But anyways, it was good, man. We had a good time. It's nice spending time with her away from the kids and the grandkids, even though I love being around them. It's nice to get away. So we had a good time.
Yeah, I got flowers, or we got flowers for my wife, obviously, but then I had the boys get flowers for their grandma and then their aunt.
Oh, okay.
And I guess their aunt had never gotten flowers before in her life, so she was feeling pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
hey, like it's better than men. We won't get flowers until we're dead.
Yeah,
I got sent flowers. A woman sent me flowers once.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever.
I've also got flowers from a girl once because she saw like the same quote Doc did, which was "Men don't get flowers till they're dead." And she like cried, and so she got.
Oh man, good moves.
Yeah.
There's nothing like the pity flowers, right? Oh,
I know, right?
There you go. Good
it came
job,
in a
Dylan.
nice mug.
So, Sully, are you super duper excited? We've got gold medal match, USA versus Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Game.
5 a.m.
Game. It's not a match. It's a game.
It's a game. Not a
It's
match.
not
The
fucking
hockey
tennis.
contest, Doc.
It's a rink. It's not a pitch.
It's not soccer. Or any
Whatever.
other commie sport.
Sully, are you excited for this big match?
Yes, please. Thank you. It's weird because there will be a giant asterisk next to this because for two reasons.
Russia?
Three. Well, yeah, there are NHL players, which is great, but it's an NHL-sized rink. Usually, the Olympic-sized rink is just a little bit bigger. It's a little bit wider and a little bit long, and so it's you get more space. Like these Russian players, these European players get 3 strides on you, they take off, man. And speaking of the Russians, because of their love of Chicken Kiev, they are not allowed to play in the Olympics this year. So they want to keep all the Chicken Kiev to themselves. And so they've been kicked out of the Olympics. So without the Russians being there, it's a
The
little.
Russians haven't been in the gold medal game in years.
Yeah, but they have Ovechkin, right? They got like the best player in the world.
Ovechkin's the best player in the world.
The Russians just have Kirill Kaprizov, my favorite, Nikita Zadorov, my defenseman. He's like 6'7", and he's mean as he's the best.
But they haven't been like prolifically dominating international hockey in years.
But they're still a force in hockey, and they're still like, it's just not the same without the Russians. It just isn't.
So you're putting an asterisk on this great achievement of the Kachucks,
kinda, because it's also the dimensions of the ice surface too. It's smaller.
Are the Canadians playing on the same dimensions as the Americans?
Yes.
Then who gives a fuck?
It's these little things of sports, just the little things. That's international hockey for you. It's like,
Doc, are you putting an asterisk on this this game?
No, it'd be the same way I didn't do it in 2002, 2010, 2014. Sully does make a good point about the ice dimensions, comparatively speaking, because most other previous Olympic games, they have played on Olympic-sized ice rink. But at the same time, I mean, look, we could do the same thing for most NHL Stanley Cups back before there was a standard ice size, because going up until the Boston Garden got shut down, like before they moved out of there, that was the last rink in the league that didn't have standard ice dimensions. And go back to the pre-expansion days, everybody just made the ice as big as they fucking wanted, or as small as they wanted.
Yeah, as long as they're competing on the same rink and they both qualified for the gold medal on the same rink, nothing changed.
The only thing that you end up with is some home ice advantage or disadvantage, and I'd say the countries that have non-NHL players, like say a Germany, would, because they only have I think 2 guys that are NHL players on theirs, or like Belarus that only has a couple. those teams
Latvia
would have they'd actually have more of an advantage, and it probably keeps the game a little more competitive with those other teams that don't have as much NHL pedigree talent on them.
Like Team Italy,
if they were playing on an Olympic-sized rink.
Yeah, like Team Italy,
they're used to use
such an underdog, and they got great looking uniforms because they're they're blue and they got the Italian flag on them. I'm like, wow, look at that! And they played Canada and scored twice against them. Nobody expected that. It's because they're just like Canada. They're a super team. So there's going to be a great gold medal. It's going to be really good.
Starts at 5 a.m. Eastern.
No, 8 a.m. Eastern.
8:10 Eastern, 5 a.m. on the West Coast. So, unfortunately, Wes, it's going to be right when we're fucking recording.
We can always push things back.
Maybe.
Do we need to do that for you, Doc?
I don't know. I'll consider it.
We'll see what happens. Now, Dylan, you're more of a MMA fan than a hockey fan, right?
Yeah.
We got big MMA news this week. Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey. Super fight on Netflix, dude?
I mean, I don't think any actual MMA fan gives a shit about that. We got some old women fighting, one who was never really that good when she was fighting, and the other who was good until some other decent women started fighting and then lost to all of them. So
she only lost twice.
Yeah, in spectacular fashion. She got destroyed.
Knocked the fuck out.
She got destroyed by both of them.
No, I wouldn't say destroyed. She got head kicked by Holly Holmes.
She had zero success prior to that. She did nothing to her.
It was only like a minute and a half or something, if I remember correctly.
Yes, so that would be what I said the first time around, destroyed.
I mean, it was a short fight, but it wasn't like Holly Holmes was just tagging her up. They were circling each other, and she got a head kick in, and then she went and touched her.
Wes, that's like saying that Mike Tyson didn't destroy people because he'd knock them out in 14 seconds.
What I'm saying
they didn't have very long. Yeah, because they got knocked out in 14 seconds.
Destroyed.
It wasn't as bad as the next fight where she got fucking okey doked.
She got walloped. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she got absolutely
that was an annihilation. The Holly Holmes thing,
because Amanda Nunes had her walking around drunk, so that was
he was all over.
That was an ass.
But the Holly Holm one was more embarrassing because Holly Holm is terrible. Holly Holm also some of those boring fights.
I don't think she had lost in MMA at that point.
She's bad. Holly Holm is bad, and she beat her. But anyway,
the most dominating fight is the Cyborg defeat of Gina Carano, though.
Oh, that was like a man versus a woman. That's tough to watch. That one's hard to watch. A
beating of epic proportions.
Yes,
there might be some truth to that too, to be honest.
Well, it's that Vanderlei Silva in a dress is what they always said.
She seems sweet, but she does not look it.
At least
it's like 10 years too late, though. Unfortunately,
Gina Carano found the Ozempic, so that's good. She's looking good in the trailer because she was looking gigantic.
She was amazing. She's so beautiful.
Yeah, she definitely got a little voluptuous there for a minute.
Yeah, she got pretty big, but yeah, I'm not excited for this, and I just don't see this being any good.
Thin Gina, thick Gina, I celebrate the whole catalog.
But on their best day, I don't think it's all that competitive a fight anyway. Ronda was
Ronda was so much better
judo fighter, and
that's why it's on Netflix. And
Gina looked good at weigh-ins. Ronda had belts. That's the peak of their careers.
Yeah, I used to watch Elite XC when Gina Carano was like their number 2 draw, I guess, behind Frank Shamrock.
Mm-hmm.
She was fine for what she was, but women's MMA wasn't very advanced. There was really only one fighter out there, Chris.
Yep.
And she was pretty rough to watch. She just beat the crap out of everybody.
Dylan,
and other than that, is there better MMA coming up, Dylan, that we should be paying attention
to? We've got the BM. Oh. Well, there's Dan Hooker drama. Did you hear about the Dan Hooker drama?
No.
All right.
Dan Hooker drama.
Okay, so
his name is
Dan Hooker. He's a New Zealand fighter. He fights out of the same gym as Israel Adesanya. He's married and has a wife and 2 kids. And a couple years ago, he went from just like a normal looking guy. He dyed his hair bleach blonde and got a ton of tattoos. He had 0 tattoos. was weird, but he still acted the same with everything. His side chick came out and shared all his drama. And the reason she did it was like me and his wife had an arrangement. They knew about each other. That was fine. But she caught him cheating with a dude. She sent like screenshots of him like talking about how he wanted to suck this guy's dick and all this other stuff and everything. And so yeah, she's like, he paid for everything. She showed like pictures of them together. She shared videos of like him sleeping at her place and stuff. And yeah, so that was the big MMA drama this week was Dan Hooker banging dudes.
And that's worse than the Oscar De La Hoya thing.
Yeah. So.
I think you guys dismissed Doc's dead hooker drama comment too quickly. I mean, Mark Waid did just celebrate Valentine's Day. Now, in fairness, okay, let me. That was, that sounds like a dig. But when I worked at Boom, there was some like conversation I was having with Wade where he said something about killing hookers, and I said, Mark, you don't gotta kill hookers. Most of them are already dead inside. And then Mark goes, hey, don't ruin my Valentine's Day. So that's why I say Mark Waid's Valentine's Day, because we had that joke.
Holy crap! I never realized you were an edgelord, Sparrow. I love it.
This was 2009. Everybody was doing it.
Hey, my girlfriend still measures the size of a trunk in a car by how many dead hookers you can put in it.
You never know.
That's her metric, not mine.
This show's gotten fucking dark.
Yeah. Canon with Sean Strickland here.
Yeah. Anybody read a good comic book?
There are a few good ones this week.
Yeah. I like G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe was great.
How about that Ultimate Spider-Man?
Batman was awesome. 30. Batman and Robin. I know that was a week ago, but I read it.
No, big dumb Batman.
Oh,
yeah.
Big dumb Batman.
Yes. So,
Very nice, Sparrow. While everyone else is watching sports ball, what are you going to do? You're going to make some more toys?
When is that happening?
Over the next few days.
Oh no, I got all kinds of writing to do to turn in Monday morning.
We also got a Night of the Seven Kingdoms finale tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Been so
all right. So is that good? Is it worth
It's
it?
really good. It's
the
so
best
good.
thing of that series, I think.
It's really good.
Better than Game of Thrones?
I mean,
season 3 is one of the best seasons of television ever.
Yeah, I mean the early seasons are really good on that, but the best thing since then for sure.
100% the best thing since. It's the best thing since then. Yeah, it's way better than House.
So good.
Terrible.
Yeah,
it's been
actual hero, and it's like
and the nice thing is, since you haven't watched it, you can just binge it all at once.
Yeah,
because
that's the plan. That was what I was holding off. I think I'll probably check that one out. I'm like about to pull the trigger on watching The Running Man. Is that worth it?
It's not very good. The Gunpowder just had another movie out this week though that was pretty good. How to Make a Killing. I enjoyed that.
That looks pretty good. I'm actually intrigued by the premise of that one.
Yeah, it was
Crime 101.
It's around that thing. I've seen the past 2 weeks. I've seen 3 movies that are all around the same that I enjoyed a lot, which was How to Make a Killing, Crime 101, and Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. All 3 of those are worth seeing. So it's been a good.
I want to see Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
It's good. Fun. It's good.
Is it as good as F1?
Yeah, I'd say it's on the same level. Yeah.
I'm surprised how good that movie was.
By the way, speaking of good movies, shout out to AL in the chat for saying that she agrees with Dylan and I and disagrees with Wes. She says Superman is a better movie than Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Well, AL's is a great person. I love AL, but we all have mistakes. We have bad opinions.
Nope.
And
I will not hear any heresy against AL.
While I don't think Fantastic Four is a particularly good or great movie, I do think it's more serviceable than that.
Dylan, did he not say it is like that seeing Fantastic Four first steps was like staring into the face of God and having God say, "Truly, thou art my most wondrous creation"? I think Wes said that. I'm pretty sure.
Yep, I remember him making comparisons to Lawrence of Arabia, and it's just
he even wore a shirt. He was so
yeah, he did wear the merch.
My wife bought me the shirt.
Citizen Kane movie.
I knew that was coming, Wes.
There's nothing you can do.
Again, the person that knows you best buys you the Fantastic Four shirt, so that says a lot.
Listen, I talk comic books with you guys all the time. You know how often I talk about comic books with my wife?
You know what
I don't know, but I know you talk about movies with her, so she obviously knew
something to her, and then her fucking eyes glazed over. And I'm like, oh, she does not care about where this character came from.
But was
saw
she
that
with
shirt
you at
and the
the
store.
Fantastic Four, and did she see the tears coming down your eyes?
Dylan, she saw that shirt in the store, and she said to herself, "If there's one thing I know for certain about my man, that he wants to drape his body in Pedro Pascal."
Exactly.
No, there's no Pedro Pascal in the shirt, and blue's a good color on me. I don't blame her for getting me the shirt. I would have got me that shirt. It fucking brings out my eyes, man.
You know, you need a good blue shirt with Galactus pinwheeling back into the
For all she knows, it says it's a Fantastic Four comic book shirt. She doesn't know the movies and stuff.
That's true.
But we are planning our trip to go see Super Mario Galaxy and Project Hail Mary, so I think I've pulled it off.
Yeah. Nice.
It's gonna be fun. What other movies are you looking forward to, Tommy?
To be honest, I'm not the huge movie guy, so I don't know, man. I don't even know what's coming, to be honest.
You don't want to see Project Hail Mary.
You know what that is?
It's the fucking gods, dude.
The Ryan Gosling movie based off a book from the same name.
Really good book.
Oh, yeah. Where he has to go to space.
Oh, yes. I did see the trailer for that, and it does look good. I hope to see that. I'll probably see
read the book. That's such a good book. I want to
see.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, I was in the subway and I literally stood up and shared. I was like, woohoo! During a certain moment in Project Hail Mary. It is that good, and that was a genuine reaction to a.
You say woohoo in a subway in Boston?
Yeah, let's say imagine being like nodding off high on fentanyl and then slowly just reading a book.
Pedals on the subway around where he's sitting.
It's like, what is this guy's problem?
The last movie.
Hey, I'm just trying to do heroin in peace over here.
I know. Hey, at least I'm wearing my headphones. Like, I'm not one of these kids that like aren't wearing their earbuds. Who died and made you my DJ? Oh.
In fairness, I agree.
Thanks.
There you go. I like The Martian. I like Interstellar. I like the gods. It feels like it's got everything I want, and I like cute little aliens before they turn into Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally got everything. So we do have a major sponsor for today, and if you're going to be at MegaCon, you're definitely going to want to hear this one. Anybody heading to MegaCon 2026, TCM Press and the Comics Mint are back with exclusive limited edition comics you won't find anywhere else. And the best part, Editor-in-Chief Aaron Sparrow, Head Writer Drew, aka Dolan Waddick, and artist Thiago da Silva will all be there, signing copies and talking comics with you. And you're going to want to put these on your must-grab list. Silent Nights issues 1 and 2, including a very sexy VHS homage cosplay cover by Raichi and preview edition cover by Thiago da Silva. Unholy Nightmare issue 1 and 2, featuring an exclusive cover by comic legend Dan Fraga and Shelby Robertson. And finally, a surprise drop. Kneel Before Doomface preview edition with a jaw-dropping homage to Jim Lee's Uncanny X-Men number 274. You already know Aaron and Drew. Now you can meet them live and in person. These are MegaCon exclusives only. You snooze, you lose. Oh man, Sparrow, you're going down to Orlando again?
Look at that. Yeah, Comics Mint wanted to do an exclusive preview. And so, they were like, "What do you got?" And I was like, "Well, I got this." And so, we're gonna be down there doing that. There's also a very special thing. I don't think I can talk about it yet, but there is a.
Fuck that, dude! You do not get. You tell us what it is.
I'll give you as much as I can. At MegaCon, there is going to be a huge indie comic crossover event that you're not going to want to miss.
Nice. I think I'm going, Aaron. I hope to see you guys there.
Awesome.
You guys can go to Disneyland together.
I would go with Aaron.
Yeah. It's like I've been to Disney World once and I was miserable. It was 100 degrees at midnight with almost 100% humidity. And at one point I just laid down on the concrete and I was just like, I want to die. I just leave me here. I'm done for.
So if people go to the booth, are they going to see you on the phone the entire time, Aaron? Because that's the picture I got of you.
That is I was like, what a picture to choose. It's just me like. taken before the show.
I was like, Drew, send me some pictures of your setup last year so I can throw it in there. People know what to expect. And I was like, well, we got one of Aaron. You got to throw that bad boy in there. He's
That's
a
right.
star attraction.
There's Aaron standing around doing stuff. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I usually don't like traveling. I especially have not liked traveling since the last time I traveled and got a concussion. But I'm excited to go out and see everybody. I always like going to shows. I always like seeing people. It's just the traveling part I don't like. Like if I could just teleport there, I'd be happy.
We should bubble wrap you, bro, because last couple of years, man.
Yeah.
Dude, like I think it's Jim. I blame Jim. Jim has cursed me. I've got the Jim curse, and it'll come for the rest of you. Be careful.
So Sparrow, you're going to be at Emerald City Comic Con and MegaCon this year?
No, I'm not going to be at Emerald City.
You said you were going to Emerald City. You and Dylan were talking about going to a strip club.
What?
I heard all about it, man.
Might have added a few things there.
Yeah, that's never happened.
That sounds more like what would happen if he's here.
I'm not adverse to going to Emerald City. The problem is that I don't know. There might be a recording session for the project that I'm working on that I might have to be at, and that's in Burbank. So like I haven't been able to book anything or commit to it.
That's why they call you Hollywood, dude.
It's pretty cool. It's an actor that
you're gonna have to go to the studio a lot, for this recording session. Like, man, fucking big deal, huh?
Well, it's an actor that I've long, I've loved his work and been a big fan of, and just to get to hear him. I can't say, but just to get to hear, just get to hear like that actor deliver lines that you've written is, it's just one of those things that's just unbelievable.
Man, sorry, Dylan, you're gonna have to miss out. He's got some Hollywood shit to do.
Maybe, but I'd love to go. Like, we'll see. Because I think Silvani will be up there at Emerald City. So I'd love to come up and hang out with him, hang out with Dylan. Make fun of Wes's love of Fantastic Four behind his back. Record it all and send it to him.
That's bullshit. Don't bother me. You guys can lie about me all you want. It's all good.
You're the one who said Dylan and I were going to a strip
lie
club.
about me every day.
That's true.
Should we hear about from the peoples? We got some super chats. We got Matthew Ledbetter. Please explain the hate for Identity Crisis. I don't think it deserves it. Meltzer had a great JLA run.
I like
Identity Crisis, and I loved his JLA run. So
I liked Identity Crisis too. People just get bent out of shape because he made Sue Dibney a murderer. It's Sue fucking Dibney. Who cares?
That's always been my opinion. I was like, it's like, yeah, I've read about Sue Dibney.
Also, anytime there's rape, people get very upset about it, even though it's fiction. It's a comic book.
But murder is fine.
Murder is fine, but anytime there's rape, people get very upset about it, and they act like it's real.
Yeah, I mean, what's it been over? It's over 20 years now. It's almost closer to 25 years.
Of all the crises, it's one of the least.
Well, it's the only crisis that's not really a crisis.
Well, it's better than Heroes.
Well, it's not an infinite crisis, and it's not on an infinite amount of Earths. It's just an identity crisis.
Yeah, I got my black belt in Crisis, so I think it's better than it's better than 0 Hour. It's better than Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that was a kind of.
Oh, that's not a high fucking bar.
I know, huh?
That sucked. But
I take 0 Hour over it though.
If there's nothing else that you take from Identity Crisis, Deathstroke whooping wholesale ass on the JLA when they come to confront him is like chef's kiss. It's like that is the the best part.
Like how he took out Zatanna, like how he took out Kyle. Just like boom, 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 like wow, that was so impressive.
Like everything, like he just dropped everybody. It was great.
Yeah, and that really started his his rivalry with Oliver after that too.
And it's like it's kind of like it was the first thing the retcon movement, but it's like, hey, this is the satellite era. This is your Silver Age, your Bronze Age era rather, and this is your Super Friends. And you're looking back in time, you're like, wow, something really bad happened one night. And then it set the seeds up where like Batman got mind wiped. That was so influential in DC continuity for years. That was great. That was some really good editorial stuff because they were really different people were talking to each other behind the scenes and making really good interconnecting stories. I just love that.
Edgelord's bullshit.
Mm.
Jeez, you guys are all soft. Caleb says Valentine's is stupid.
Huzzah! Good to see you, man.
I'm not completely opposed to that. You know, it is a commercial holiday, but you know,
I mean, it's not.
If you're a guy and you play your cards right, you get some good shit out of it.
It's not as good as Love Day. You know, if you remember that Simpsons episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wanted Sir Huggington. I wanted Sir Loves a lot.
But yeah, Valentine's is fun, you know, as long as you don't go too overboard like Sully.
Well, I had fun making her happy because Valentine's is stupid, but Valentine's is also for chicks. And so it's more of like when you're like, okay, I just want to make her happy. And that made me happy. So therefore, I am stupid. I am totally stupid. Yeah.
What if it made her happy if you ignored her and played some more video games?
No, I've done that before.
Wouldn't that be a better life?
That's you know, you live and learn.
Sully's like, that was the best idea I had at that point.
I mean, the idea for the rose petals on the bed just put me in the next level of like, ooh, you're a keeper, you know?
You stole that from a movie.
Totally, man. I get all my best stuff from rock and roll and movies and stuff. And don't we all?
Yeah. Jag
Isn't that what sets the expectation, though? That's where the expectation comes from. You know, it's like if women didn't have movies and music and, you know, romance novels feeding them all this shit, we wouldn't have to do any of it. It would be like the old days when you'd be like, hey, I fancy you. And she's like, oh yeah, what do you give me? And you'd be like, here's a shiny apple. And she'd be like, great, let's get married. But then the beer came in.
Or you had to go and like kill a bear with your bare hands protecting her.
No, Doc is right. By the way, Doc, Kaiser wants to know if $60 is worth it for a entire run of The Authority. So don't miss that. Ooh. But you know, Doc is right. There used to be like old manuals. It's like, if you want to impress a woman, delight her with a slice of cheese.
Yeah. Yes.
Jag Live. So now that we are almost to it, how are you guys feeling on Green Lantern and Kyle Rayner replacing Hal? Are you still in or maybe dropping? I'm going to check it out because I do trust Jeremy Adams, but I also think that it's stupid. That the book was better when it was a Hal-centric book.
Yep. And it really feels like they didn't do a great job of addressing like when Hal saw his name and everything written there, the Book of Oa. It's like, man, what's gonna happen? Then he went on a bunch of side adventures, and like his final issue is gonna be a date with Carol, and it's like, what happened? It felt like we were set up. I was so hyped after that. It felt like we were set up for something big, and then
I think something big still could come of it though with Kyle. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
it is an unanswered. You know, it's unanswered. We need an answer for that. So.
Yeah, it's just upsetting that we're not getting it addressed in like the final issues of Hal. Instead, it'll be either in Kyle's book or it'll be in the back stories with Hal, because he's going to be doing
Green Lantern Corps book that nobody's reading anymore. Yeah. So I'll definitely support it, but we'll see what's happened. I prefer Hal. Callum says Iron Lung. Wow, and Troy Baker's in the movie.
That's the Markiplier movie.
Yep.
If I'm correct. And that's like a huge indie success too, because that's nothing but profit for that guy. So that's that's really good. Good on you.
I'm pretty sure you have to split your money with your distributors and the theaters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what he means is it costs like nothing to make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's not going to get all that money back.
No, but to have a box office, you know what I mean, like that in today's theater market, where everyone's saying, "Oh, the theaters are failing." Yeah, explain that last Spider-Man movie where people came out during the coup and it made over $1 billion. I was there. Like that was great to see people in the movie theaters. People will come out.
Yeah, movies are creatively failing, and then they're failing, to stay in theaters long enough for people to feel like they might miss out if they don't go to the theater. Nobody feels like they're going to miss out on anything anymore because within a month it's being offered on POV.
Yep.
And then after that, or what POD, I should say. And then, after that, it's going to be on whatever crap streaming service that you're subscribed to, probably.
Yep.
Dylan, did you go see Iron Lung?
I did not.
Why don't you support, independent movie creators? Why are you only supporting?
Go see Shelby Oaks. Support independent film, Dylan.
I see
Why are you
a
only
ton
supporting the
of
big companies?
I see a ton of indie movies.
We know people. We'll get you on Film Threat. Come on.
All right,
love the
Destiny
same
Horizon
film.
says actually Iron Lung doesn't have a distributor. That Markiplier is distributing himself.
Yeah, he
Only
called
only
all
has
the movie
distributor.
theaters. Yeah, that was. I remember seeing those stories about him like calling all the movie theaters and everything.
Well, good on him. I bet he did make a lot more money then. Jag Live, after number 8, I finally dropped Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Really?
I'm not surprised.
Bravo.
But it's such a good book, though. But then it's camp.
But the Emperor's clothes. Look at them. They're beautiful.
Yeah,
I think
splendid.
Absolute Martian Manhunter is ending at issue 12 because Camp said that he and the artist are going to be working on another project. They couldn't say no to.
Unnamed project, right? Coming up.
I'm going to be able to say no to it.
Probably be Doom Patrol or something like that.
Absolute Doom Patrol. How was that? I want up you. Oof.
I don't think Absolute Doom Patrol is necessary.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think most of the Absolute books are necessary.
Bare Room Collections. What character or design do you want for a figure that either doesn't have one or wasn't done justice? I would love to see a Maximum Blade, a Rook Exodus Wave. Shiite would be a PR Ghost Rider too. I would love a Swine.
I think that's shit, Wes.
Shit. Like a Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider too.
I would like the Swine character from Rook Exodus. I think he had the best design. He was really awesome. But all those Rook Exodus characters would look great as toys. I think.
Those would be amazing.
Yeah, I would like a whole Rook Exodus line. If we're talking, if we're talking like mainline, like superhero kind of stuff, or mainline property, I'd like to see a mask line, but in the 6-inch scale. G.I. Joe classified. And then even if they make, fake Matt Tracker that they're pushing us now with this mask book, it's real easy to swap out the neck and the head and put a legit Matt Tracker on there. So you have the Matt Tracker you grew up with.
Aaron, imagine if it came with 2 heads.
I mean, no, that's a way to do it. That's a way to do it. And then you could take the Matt Tracker head that they're pushing on us now, and you could just pop that on another G.I. Joe body and make it a unique character, which is what companies should be doing instead of saying, hey there, minorities, how would you like this skin suit, retread, do you feel seen now that we've pandered to you? We didn't give you anything original. We didn't, make Hondo McClane the leader. Everybody loves Hondo. We didn't do that. But instead what we did is we just gave you a reskinned hand-me-down. Aren't you happy?
Man, Sparrow, you're the fucking toy guy. This should be your question. Why don't you talk about all the better versions you wanted?
I did. Oh, and you know what? We had a Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider that came with the car, but Marvel fans bitched and complained. It's too expensive. I'm going to hold out. I'm going to hold out. I'm going to show Hasbro. Yeah, it was a good deal. I saw that thing at New York, man. That was I put in for it. I was good. I wanted it. I actually put in for 2. Because I was like, I was like, I want the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider and I want the car, but then I need that other car. I'll take the flames off of it, and that's Blade's car.
But it never got made because it didn't do that. Was it Hasbro?
Yeah, it didn't hit the fund. Well, here's the other problem. Here's the other problem with HasLab. When you do like a 2-week exclusive, like if we hit this, you get this figure included, and then you miss that. Like you don't make that in that first 2 weeks or whatever, you kill your Kickstarter, because now people feel like even if they get to that point, even if it gets across the finish line, they're missing something. You cheated them of something, and now they don't, now they don't want it. So that's like a little bit of like psychology of like the toy collector. It's like, oh, I'm not going to get the Robbie Reyes, just as himself figure now, even if it funds. Well, now I kind of feel like you're ripping me off.
Man, have you ever seen Dylan? Have you ever seen Aaron go so anti-customer on him? He's just trashing all the action figure fades.
I don't know, dude. These guys take that's a whole world that I don't know.
Dude,
I don't
do you have
think
an
he's trashing action figure fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm teasing. You teased me about Fantastic Four. Dylan, is there an action figure that you've wanted?
I don't know.
You want the Brad Pitt from F1, or maybe you want? Well, they got Pedro from Fantastic Four if you're interested.
No, well, I mean, thinking of Rook Exodus, then Ursa one would be sick. I'd love that design. Sick, the giant bear, dude. That would be.
That'd be a way to do it.
That'd be so cool.
Doc, what's the one that you need? It's got to be G.I. Joe, right? That's your new thing.
Probably, yeah. Honestly, because
what about the big Cobra What about the big Cobra Sentinel? Would you be in for that? You know, the big robot that comes down in Revenge of Cobra.
Yeah, in the giant Cobra robot.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down for that.
What about Cobra Commander turning into a snake?
They've already done that one.
Unclassified?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
I know.
And no. You know what we really need? We need a scale USS Flag. You're gonna need your entire fucking living room.
Yeah, you need a pool to dock
the
it.
terror drome.
Somebody built one. Like somebody like 3D printed, and I'm like, I want that file. I want to print that. I want to make that. I don't know where it would go, but like it could go in the middle of the living room, and then people would come over and be like, "What the hell?" And I'd be like, "Look, you just put a little thing on the top. Now it's the table."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is there any action figures you've been looking out for there?
What's that?
Yeah, is there any action figures you've been looking out for, Tommy?
No, I'm hoping that Ghost Machine works with McFarlane and they start producing a bunch of the Rook Exodus stuff.
So you like the 7-inch scale rather than the 6-inch scale?
I mean, most of my stuff is 7-inch scale. I do have a lot of Marvel Legends, obviously in the 6-inch, which I enjoy, but I prefer the 7 just because so much of my collection is 7. But I would love to see anything Rook Exodus. A Red Coat would be really cool to get. I think that'd be Hyde Street would be awesome. Some of those characters would be really dope. I love that stuff.
I'd like some Kneel Before Doomface figures.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I'd let McFarlane make those.
Dude, those are so toyetic, Aaron. I love the design of your book there. It's great. I want a Lexi figure too.
Dude, and we got stuff coming. Like I'm working with Renzo on like future characters and things like that, and it's like, oh, there's so much good stuff.
So
like,
cool, man.
Just got to get that first book out the door.
There's a new character called the D-Man that's completely based on me. He's like the coolest guy in the entire universe.
D-Man? So you're the homeless guy that's apparently got AIDS now and is gay and dresses up. Yeah.
He's talking about Marvel D-Man. Yeah.
I don't fucking know about Marvel's D-Man. I'm talking about
Dennis
D-Man.
Dunphy?
Dennis Dunphy?
Why are you the D-Man?
Think about it, Aaron. I'm sure you can figure things out, all right?
Does D-Man have a
No, I don't.
D-Man must have a figure, doesn't he?
Well, the Dennis Dunphy character at Marvel, like they thought it was great. They're like, hey, he's called D-Man.
Yeah.
What if we also make him love the D?
Oh,
yeah.
It's like, and they like nobody raised their hand and said, we maybe think this is a little too on the nose. Maybe,
Stop ruining the nickname, man. This is not about him. It's about me.
I don't think you want that nickname. I think that it sets up some unhealthy expectations. You're going to find yourself in some situations like we talked about before. The 5-knuckle shuffle.
Did you? God damn it! I was talking about fucking John Cena's 5-knuckle shuffle.
I got him daydreaming.
Wes, you gotta like. I feel like I'm Archer with you all the time, where I'm like, "Hey, phrasing."
As a wrestling fan, I think it's okay to say 5-knuckle shuffle if you want to punch somebody in the face. It doesn't mean you want to do anything else.
when you say in normal conversation to somebody, man, that guy I'd sure like to give him a 5-knuckle shuffle.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
Also, Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters.
Whatever. Calb says, "Did you see the Sean Strickland press footage?"
Yes.
What'd you think, Dylan? What happened?
It's standard Sean Strickland press conference. Sean Strickland is incredibly entertaining on the mic and incredibly boring in the octagon. He always he's very inflammatory, he's very edgy, and he goes out. He's very fun to watch, but it's so much more fun watching him on the mic than it is in the octagon. Because in the octagon, he's throwing jabs, he's throwing teeps, he's pressuring, and then not much else. He doesn't ever really go for it.
Sean Strickland works for the wrong division of TKO at this point. He needs to just go and work at the WWF.
Yeah.
He was right about what they did to Halo.
What'd they do to Halo?
They destroyed it when they did the live action show. It was terrible. They ruined everything about it.
That's what his press conference is about?
No, that's was one of the things because Paramount took over the UFC, and Paramount was who did the Halo show, and he's like, they made Halo gay, they ruined Halo.
Well, they're ruining Star Trek right now.
It's like it's basically like Tard Trek now. I see it, and
I've committed to reviewing the entire Starfleet Academy comic book series when it comes out.
Oh dear God!
How much Klingon butt sex will there be?
I have no idea. I haven't watched the show, so I guess I'll get my fill in the comic book.
Well, it's edited by Heather Antos, so I'm sure it'll be good.
Wes talking about getting his fill. Jesus Christ, man.
Wes, you're basically becoming Tobias Funke at this point. Like everything you say is just like, oh, there's probably a better way you could have said that.
I'm going to be reviewing the comic book. Okay, I was just putting it out there so people. American Texas
putting it out there.
If you're looking for a great comic book review channel, this is definitely one of the places I would go check out.
He's awesome.
Howdy, friends. Club soccer starts, so I can't watch live, but have a great show. My first scathing review on the channel will be this weekend with Ultimate Spider-Man 24. Marvel did us and Hickman dirty. Holy crap, he's going to do a negative review. He never does negative reviews. That's wild. Ultimate Spider-Man 24 to me. Did you check this one out, Dylan? Were you still rolling with this one?
Nope, I dropped Ultimate Spider-Man a long time ago, like issue 8 or 9.
It felt very disappointing. Like it almost didn't need to exist by the end. So I was expecting something better. The Marco Cicchetto art is good, and we do get more Spider-Man, so that helps. But I don't know, Tommy. I was just let down. Did I expect too much?
Probably.
Well, fuck you, man. My expectations were in line with what they.
My expectation was for them to tell a single Spider-Man story. I feel like they let me down on that one.
So you liked Ultimate Spider-Man 24?
No.
I'm talking to Tommy.
No, I like the very beginning. I dropped out probably around issue 10. It was good writing. I liked it, but it was just so slow and there wasn't enough Spider-Man, so I just dropped out. I have not read anything since.
Oh, I thought you're gaslighting and talking crap to me.
No, I literally
completely unaware.
I did not read 24. I haven't read it since then. But I didn't. There was a lot to enjoy about it. It just was so slow, and then it wasn't really a Spider-Man comic for me. So I kind of bowed out a little bit. I just got a lot of comics to read, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna move on to something different. That's all.
So on this channel, I started reading the series. Dylan read it, you read it, Doc read it, and Sully, you were reading Ultimate Spider-Man. And Sully, you made it to issue 24?
I got all 24 issues paid for. And
so two of 5 made it. 40% hit rate to make it to the end of a 2-year run is not great.
What'd you think of it?
I was fucking disappointed. I was like, this is it? Like,
I mean, I thought that for me,
it was great.
The worst, I liked the art.
Until the other artist showed up.
Until the other artist showed up. I know. Yeah, that's what I was going for. That it was a little bit, that was a disservice. You know, I know you need to push this magazine out, but I mean, come on. This is the swan song for this ballyhooed, this centerpiece of the Ultimate Universe, right? And it lands the story fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
That's the thing that's wrong. It's fine.
It is. It's fine. It's perfect. It's okay. Yeah. Here's your Sully. Okay. Yeah, it's perfectly okay. I mean, it lands it. Just totally. The ultimate. What's that new one that's coming out? The End Game. I mean, it kind of spoils it in a way because it picks up after.
Yeah, none of that stuff matters to any of it.
So none of it kind of matters, right? I mean, nothing matters. This doesn't matter. It's a good story. It'll always be a good alternate Spider-Man story. It will be. There's some really good Peter and MJ moments because that's what we're tuning in for. So it lands that emotional story beat that we're all craving. The romance of Mary Jane and Peter. She sacrifices her, but her potential, her agency. Not really at all because she's still MJ, but she chooses being a wife and a mother over being a model or being anything this exciting life that Mary Jane can have in the Marvel Universe. She chooses traditional motherhood. And I think that's a really interesting story note in a modern magazine. And we're all here for it because that's the glue that holds it together is the family. And it lands.
I don't know, man. That whole scene was fucking superfluous where they're sitting there talking like, I'm pregnant. And then it's like, should we not have an abortion or should we have an abortion? They didn't use the word, but they're certainly implying
right.
Like,
that's what we're talking
about. I want to do this. It's like, we fucking know you didn't. You're literally there with, I can't curse now because it's a baby. You literally can't do it because you're married and you already have 3 kids or 2 kids. We know that you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, but I like the parts with Harry and Gwen. That's an interesting thing to come out of it, and I like the resolution of Kingpin and Mr. Negative. That was pretty fitting, and but like I said, it's simply okay. That's it. It wasn't astounding. It didn't, and in the end, it doesn't matter.
No, not really.
It don't matter.
There you go. American Texan Dreams will have his first negative review. What was that, Aaron?
I said it don't matter. None of this matters.
It don't matter. Dice game, Yamamoto. I probably said that wrong. Random comment. I had the most bizarre moment yesterday. I saw a DC spinner rack inside of a fast track gas station next to the sodas in upstate New York.
Nice.
Beautiful. Did you offer to buy it from him? I want to take this home. Man. Where have you seen comic books that are like weird and random lately, Dylan?
Lately, nowhere. I just no. I haven't seen like up here in Washington. There's like no like out of the ordinary places. I've seen like what he said. I've seen that on Twitter. People post it like spinner racks and gas stations and stuff. But out here in the greater Seattle area, I have not seen any of that.
Doc, have you had any random comic book sightings? Doc's choking down a heater.
No.
Solly, how about you? How about in the greater Boston area?
I on purpose at my local, beyond my local comic book shop, I like to look at the magazine rack at the supermarket and the pharmacy store because you'll always see like they got like kids books, like Marvel superheroes, the kids versions and coloring books, and they go for like $9.99 and stuff, but you will never see a comic book like around there or around the publications. And it's gone. That's
Dude, did you see the numbers that the most streamed Marvel program outside of Endgame on Disney Plus is Spidey and His Amazing Friends?
The old one, the 80s one?
No, the little one with the Spider-Man, Hulk, and I think Iron.
Oh, okay. No, wow. Well, that's
for like 3-year-olds.
That's kind of cool. I mean, every generation has its own Spider-Man. Like 20 years ago, like that Ultimate Spider-Man, that Bagley Art T-Bear Spider-Man was everywhere on backpacks and thermoses and stuff, man. So every generation seems to have a Spider-Man, and that's good. That keeps it alive. And yes.
And then Daisuke says Iron Lung was made under a personal $3 million budget. Access Media in Hollywood hate the film and tried to kill it thanks to the fans, both the movie theaters and Markiplier made out like bandits. That's a cool story.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Let's
like a Rocky Balboa, but for movie theaters.
Rise up, Indies. Rise up.
Man. Dylan, when are you going to create your own underground game and become a millionaire?
Games are even more expensive than movies, and I'm not Markiplier's already a millionaire prior to this. So
yeah, but with ChatGPT, it can do all the coding and everything for you.
I don't think it's that simple.
No, and I wouldn't trust
a little more to it. Yeah,
I wouldn't trust ChatGPT to do it when it's not recommending that you commit suicide. It's feeding you woke propaganda.
Well, there's a host of issues with ChatGPT. It just hallucinates information that's not real. Have you anybody else have that problem with it? Nobody?
I use Grok. I pay for it. I pay $8.50 a month for Twitter. Why wouldn't I
pay $50 for Twitter?
$8.50 a month for Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Someone tried to boost my handle and I had a clone out there, and I was like, "What the is this?" It's like I'm nobody. So I got to.
Somebody went out there and tried to steal your identity.
Yeah. So I got a blue check mark to authenticate myself, and now I get the yutzes. Oh, look at you and your blue check mark. What does that have to do about you having a shitty opinion? I love that.
But Grok has its own issues too. There's no perfect AI quite yet. They've all got like weird things, but no,
Grok is cool when you're like, hey, what are some common phrases? Some common British slang phrases for this. When you're writing something, it'll give you.
Oh yeah. Well, I said I want to hit somebody in the face. What phrase should I use? And Grok said 5 knuckle shuffle, and it made me look like a moron.
Well,
the phrase is the 5 knuckle shuffle. Like,
you still got to use your own judgment, Wes.
Probably should have searched that one on Google and wait. Probably not want to do that.
Yeah, don't type that into a search engine.
Yeah,
or at least have safe search on.
Man, so is this like the biggest story like this? It's like what was it? The stupid witch, the witch, Blair Witch Project, right?
Yeah,
like the original Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, wasn't that one done for like $300,000?
Yeah, and it just
very cheap.
Very cheap,
like 130 million worldwide.
Those kids made mint on that, and I watched that last year for Halloween. Like, in one of my friends' teenagers, like, freaking picked it, and I'm like, okay, we'll watch this. I haven't seen it since it came out, and I'm like, that movie holds up. That was actually a really good movie. And I'm like, wow.
There's a really creepy scene in the end when the camera goes through and the dude's like in the
corner,
but it's great at building tension. It is a slow burn, and it's a nice short movie too, about 90 minutes. You get 3 succinct acts, and everything ratchets it up tension, and it's all mood, man. That's
a lot of interesting behind the scenes stuff with that movie too.
Do tell.
Well, it's been a while since I've watched behind the scenes stuff, but it's like a lot of the actors didn't even really know what was going on. Like sometimes they would kind of just send them out there with a camera, and like the directors would show up randomly and mess with them to like try to get them scared, like in the middle of the night when like in the woods with their camcorders. The directors would like show up and like throw a rock somewhere, like make a noise or something. Like it was very, very interesting.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I like that one. The sequels are terrible though.
But
what's up? Framer Mike says, "Dads, don't blink. Princess will be 25 before you know it. Time speeds up." Man, I think he's talking to you, Tommy. Before you know it, she'll be driving a car, going to prom.
I got 3 girls. I've already gone through that once. This is their problem.
I like that the moment like she was in your lap, she's like, "Can I haphazardly grasp at items?" And you're like trying to control her.
There's action figures everywhere. She's like, "Oh, this is man, let me."
It's like Goku going Super Saiyan when Tommy goes Abuelo. I love it, man. This is my favorite part
right now, so my wife has to go get her real quick. So it'll only be a few minutes.
Look at the little ponytail on her head.
Now I'll go through the weird hair phase.
Oh yeah,
where you want to do something because they finally have hair, but you can't do much because it's not enough.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just really awkward right now. So it's just always like this.
Yeah, it feels like I just became a dad yesterday, and I've almost got a middle schooler.
Yeah.
Like next year he will be.
Wait till they're 30. It's incredible, man. I don't feel that old, but it goes fast. So enjoy it.
Absolutely. Sully, you need to get on this, dude.
I'm trying, every weekend.
Very good.
Well, rose petals on the bed will lead you there real quick.
Absolutely.
It really helps. And chocolate.
Daisuke says, Dylan, did you know of Vampire Survivors? $150 budget, over 10 million gross sales, single retail location, Steam, indie games do this a lot.
Oh yeah, indie games do it all the time, especially with Steam Early Access. There's tons of these games that like make a ton of money from like single devs. Yeah. I'm not a game developer. So
you're the fucking real comic book gamer. How could you not be a game developer?
I play games. I don't
game developer.
I don't make games.
The real comic book gamer, not game developer.
Like saying because you use electricity, you're an electrician.
Hey, I know how to electrocute myself just fine.
You can make $10 million off $150, dude.
It's that simple.
Man, would you have an idea for a video game? Like,
not at the moment, no. I have no.
You wouldn't want to like rip off GoldenEye or like a side scroller. Or I like the ones where you take over the world and you have to build up civilizations and stuff.
Ooh, I got one. I want to like Tiger Woods Golf, but it's called Sully's Chef. You know what I mean? And you're like, I'm your chef and you're my sous chef, and I'm gonna give you like stuff to cook, and by the end of it, you're gonna know how to really cook because Tiger Woods taught me how to read a green. I could putt anything within 10 feet, because of Tiger Woods EA Golf.
Sully, you should be playing Cooking Mama.
Really?
I was about to say that game definitely exists because my wife plays it. She's like addicted to these little mobile cooking games.
Really? Oh,
yeah, it's really dorky stuff.
Okay.
I don't know how I married this woman. Like, real.
I've
nerdy.
gone like as many people are doing because modern entertainment is in such a slump. People are going back to like things that they enjoyed previously or checking out things that they missed that were from an earlier time. I reinstalled Command and Conquer on my whole on my PC and like going back and harvesting Tiberium, and I still remember how I was like, oh, this is the future when I was first playing it back in the day. And Seth is like, you should from the Brotherhood of Nod is telling you how like you and me, we could take over this whole organization, and then he gets shot and just gets pushed out of the chair, and it's like, greetings, I am Kane. And it's like, now you're talking to the big dog of Nod.
Dude, I went back and I was playing Oregon Trail again.
Oh, did you see they're doing an Oregon Trail? Was it show or movie? That just got like announced this past week. I can't remember if it was a show or a movie.
Choose your own adventure style.
And then they're talking about how it's going to be more on the silly side with like stupid deaths and stuff. So it sounds fun. I can't remember if it was a show or a movie, but I saw something about it this week.
And you can also get eaten by cannibals in this one.
Sorry, Doc.
The one I see says that it's coming to Nintendo Switch. But I don't know, man. I don't think that Oregon Trail should be goofy because I put in, like I said, my name and my wife and my kids' names in there, and as they're dying, I was like, it was getting me. I was like, typhoid, no, my boy. I had to stop.
That's why I think it has to be rated R, man.
Give the bear the 5-knuckle shuffle. Give it to him.
Stop jerking off bears.
Bonus points. You get some bonus dollars for some food.
Collect some bear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh man. There's some stories you should never share with your friends. And I think I've found one that I shared that one with you, right, Sparrow? No, that happened when I was talking to you. So
Apple is the one doing it. They're developing the film. Yeah.
Very cool. I'll definitely check it out. Man, I guess we could stop talking about my bad phrasing and get into the worlds of the MCU and Marvel movies. We just got an announcement that we're getting a Wonder Man comic. They're introducing the Disney Plus version of Wonder Man into the 616. We're getting a Hulk event that coincides with the Spider-Man movie. We're getting Spider-Man Brand New Day comic book coinciding with the movie. We got Doom Quest coinciding with the Doomsday movie and all that kind of stuff. And it feels like after over 15 years and the rise, and it feels like the MCU is coming kind of down, Dylan, that the MCU changed comic books, but I don't know that it helped them in the long run. What do you think?
No, and this feels like too little too late with this. It's really stupid because during like the prime of the MCU, if you're really into Captain America, you go like, man, I can't wait to pick up a good Steve Rogers book. You go into your store, it's like, oh, he's like 80 now, and now Falcon is Cap. It's like, what? And then you a little bit later, he's working for Hydra. You got Nazi Cap. It's like, well, I like Steve Rogers in the movies, but this isn't what I got. And then like, oh man, I really like Thor. You go to your comic shop, you're like, Jane Foster's Thor? Actual Thor isn't Thor? Like during the prime of it, they didn't even have synergy, like the most basic type. And now when no one cares about either Marvel Comics or the MCU, like now we're going to have some synergy. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get why now they're doing it. And obviously trying to have this synergy is never a good idea, but I think just having the most basic thing of like, if someone likes Steve Rogers, they can go and pick up a Steve Rogers comic. Then I think that's the most basic thing to do. But here, like changing Wonder Man because there's a show that like, I actually heard the show was good, but yeah, not very many people watched it. And why?
And they're also simultaneously doing another Wonder Man thing months after the show already, whatever little bit of interest there was, is over. They're doing another one with the real Wonder Man. Like Simon Williams is just going to fucking be there now.
I think you guys You guys are like not understanding how Marvel has their finger on the pulse of what's popular right now. We're getting a Jay and Silent Bob comic book.
True.
One shot from Marvel, the best comic that 2006 has to offer.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, more like 2001. That was the last time, because by 2006 he had already done Clerks 2, and well, we all saw how that worked.
I mean, people were still like watching. Like, I still had friends that were like watching them while they were like doing stuff. You know, they have them on in the background in like 2006. But that was the last time. And it's like this idea that this is another reason that like Marvel needs to just be flushed of its executive editors. It's like they're all just waiting on AARP. You know, none of them are in touch. They've just been in the bubble too long. They're not, connected to anything that is even remotely, relevant anymore.
Yep.
The idea that Kevin Smith is like going to draw geeks in, he's been outside of the geek sphere since he started crying and shilling. Like people stopped trusting him. And then, the whole debacle with Clownfish TV and lying about the Masters of the Universe show and that butchery, and then getting caught like I loved He-Man, I would run home from school to see it even though I was too old to be in school when it was on, that sort of thing. And then getting caught with clips from his own show like, well, I don't care about He-Man, but I recognize that there's a place for him. It's like nobody cares about Kevin Smith anymore. When we did LA Comic-Con a couple of years ago, Chris Gore had a panel, and it was packed, standing room only. They had to turn people away at the door.
Yeah.
And then as we got out, Kevin Smith was starting a panel that wasn't even half full across the hall.
Aww.
Same size room. It's like there's no relevance to Kevin Smith anymore. So, it's like Marvel doesn't know what they're doing.
Oh, I love Kevin Smith. I mean, there are two Kevin Smiths. There's pre-heart attack Kevin, and there's post-heart attack Kevin. And it's kind of like Lucas Disney versus Star Wars Disney, ironically enough, huh? Because the Star Wars references.
Look, when Jay was the one doing drugs, and Kevin was fat and sober, they were fine. Now that Kevin's skinny and doing drugs, and Jay is sober and kind of getting a little fat, they're not funny anymore.
It was my biggest worry about Smith was like Clerks 3 was just not going to hold up to its Ribalt recipe. Like Clerks 2 was funny and it was a dirty joke movie. It was really dirty. It was really Ribalt. And I was like, Kevin's not going to be able to pull this off. And Clerks 3 ended up being morose and not fun and not even dirty. There was no dirty jokes.
Well, it's because Kevin's trying to get work in Hollywood. That's all he does. Like there's, he does that podcast, and I know people who've been there when they're doing it, and he will actually stop the podcast and get mad at his co-host because he's like, you can't say that. You're going to cost me work.
Look, Clerks 3 and Jay and Silent Bob reboot, both of which should be banned films because they're just so terrible. Everything about them is a crime against cinema. They were just that uninteresting, unappealing, and unentertaining. I'd rather sit and watch a fucking paint wall dry.
I will say Tusk, though, is a really good horror movie. I think that's maybe Smith's last great movie was Tusk, because that's really good acting, good ensemble, and great special effects, and just good pacing.
But I mean, look, we need. Marvel has no idea how to. I mean, Marvel spent the last 15 years demonstrating a complete and utter inability to connect and synergize their audience and from comics and film. They keep, I mean, granted, this is all of fiction and all of basically the entertainment medium, but it's just nothing but the tail wagging the dog across all of entertainment.
Well, I think that was their mistake. I don't think they should have tried to synergize comic books with movies. They should have been releasing, special collected editions of the stories that were being transitioned to movies. like the Invincibles done to lots of money. They made a ton of money putting all those compendiums and omnibus out and stuff like that. Instead of trying to reflect the movie, they should have been trying to create new classic stories to become movies.
Well, they did that. What was it? The Avengers Assemble comic that initially was set in the MCU. And then the second writer on it was Brian Bendis, and immediately fucked it up and connected it to the 616. Like immediately upon taking it over. And now suddenly it's not an MCU movie for people that might have liked the MCU Avengers and wanted to read like continuing stories between the movies. It would have worked if they would have just left it that way, but they decided no, we need to somehow transition these people over into our 616 line, so we're just going to move this book in there. Then they released that fucking terrible Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. book that connected with the sometimes good, sometimes terrible, mostly all right Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. And they couldn't, and then the entire thing just went completely off the track because the main Avengers book was filled with people that weren't fucking Avengers. And then the everything else just started reflecting whatever the hell changes they had to make to appease the egotists in Hollywood that are incapable of adapting shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it has not been the lucrative era that you would have expected, Tommy. With the notoriety of the characters, they never found a way to really elevate anything, and it feels like they've ended up alienating the people that were supporting the company in the process by trying to, I don't know, use Marvel Comics to change all the characters for no reason whatsoever, trying or wholesale swapping out a character like a Nick Fury with the more movie version. And it feels like it ended up not working on any level.
Yeah, I think they just pissed off everybody all around. I've worked for very large organizations with, 80,000 employees. What happens in one section of the organization, a lot of times the other section of the organization have no idea until it happens. And I feel like something's going on within Disney on the film side that never makes it to the comic book side. So they have all these stories going on that are not aligned, have nothing to do with what's about to come out on the MCU side. So then when the MCU does come out with something, they're like last minute trying to make changes to get as much as they can off of whatever movie's coming out. That is one big problem. The second big problem is obviously the editors and the direction that they're taking some of the titles right now have been really bad. I mean, it's been, I don't do a lot of negative reviews. That's not my thing, but I don't read a ton of Marvel comics, and I haven't in a while because I just don't really, it's not for me in the direction that they're going with a lot of these characters. And it's so much different from what I grew up on. And so I think there's a couple things going on. You have the editors that are taking IP that we all grew up with within comic books and making so many changes that a lot of these characters are no longer recognizable to comic book fans. And then you have the MCU that's doing one thing, and by the time the editors or somebody at Marvel Comics finds out, I think they're doing what they can at the last minute to try and tie it in somehow, thinking that they're going to get comic book fans to buy those because it's related. It's a mess, man. It's a complete mess. It hasn't worked.
Yeah, you can see Tommy, a lot of times where they must have had a book that was ready, and they're like, wait, if we just hold off 9 months, there's going to be a TV show with that character, even though what we're doing in this book and what's happening to the character has nothing at all to do with the TV show, but we needed it to happen at the same time. I was like, this is serving nothing.
And I could tell you, having 4 children, all of them love the MCU movies. None of them have read a comic book. None of them. And none of them had a desire to read a comic book after watching the MCU movies. So it would be really interesting to see what kind of bumps Marvel Comics gets after a movie for those same titles. Any bump they get is going to be covers or something like that from fans that were always buying Marvel Comics. I don't think there's a ton of transition from movie fans to comic books. I just don't think it exists.
Boom. Nailed it.
Yeah. There has never been You can literally go back to X-Men. They figured this out in 2003. There is no transition. There is no being able to pull audience. And they tried it. First, they advertised the books as being connected to the X-Men movie. That didn't work. Then they changed the X-Men and put them in the black leather like they looked in the movie. That didn't work. Now, they didn't utterly change the characters. The way that so what they've done is they kept trying different ways and adding more and more ways to basically try to make these things the same thing. To think that they could eventually appeal to a crossover audience that doesn't exist, that has no interest in coming over. But and the end result is, while you had people like me, or probably a lot of the rest of you, that were evangelists for like Marvel movies and superhero movies in general, we tolerated the changes made for the film because we got to see the thing we loved, I don't know, 75, 80, 90% on the screen. The problem was when they decided to reflect those changes from the screen back into the books, we were fine with it when it was a change on the screen because it didn't affect our love of the comics. Then they started making those same changes on the comics, and now you're driving us away.
Yeah. You
So
see,
I think
what I've noticed, they are talking. What they're doing on the animation side is 100% aligned with what they're doing in the comic world. So when Invincible is on fire, they're just re-releasing those stories because that TV show is an adaptation of the comic book. There's very little change. And because of that, if you do want to do the comics, you're going to recognize everything that's happening in the comics with what you just watched. And I think that's
yeah, especially if you're really liking it. It's like, oh man, we got 2-3 years till next season of Invincible. Yeah. Every comic's out though, and I want to know what happens next. People 100%. Go buy the comic and read it. That happens, but yeah.
So I do take a little bit of a different point of view than Doc on there because they did see, or DC did see, enormous sales increases on Batman when the Batman '89 movie came out. But the difference is Batman was widely available. It wasn't only in comic book shops.
Exactly.
You could find it in different stores and stuff like that. And certainly the Invincible example is great, but there's also a lot of turnover from interest in anime into manga because the stories are so closely adapted.
And talking about the comics does work though, because Supergirl One of Tomorrow has gotten a huge bump from James Gunn never shutting up about it. Like that has gotten a huge bump purely because like the movie's coming out, this is directly inspiring it. So like that's gotten a big bump from that.
Yeah. Which shows that but not the new Supergirl. If there was a Supergirl title out right now, it wouldn't see it.
It's terrible. It's
terrible. I mean, it doesn't see any bump. That's the thing, and Marvel needs to understand this. They sold a shit ton of copies of the Infinity Gauntlet when it was in print during the Infinity War Endgame era. But they let it go out of print like 3 times during that period. While they're telling this whole fucking Thanos story, and I don't think they ever had fucking Thanos Quest in print during that. So
no, it was like in an old
story.
It was in an old like Epic collection. Yeah, that was the only way that you could find it.
Yeah, so you only had half the story available in print. And that's when you kept it in print. That would see bumps. Marvel has they could have done when that Scarlet Witch and Vision show came out on, if they would have had that 12-issue series that introduced the kids in the second to last issue or the last issue in print as a trade paperback, they would have sold 1 million fucking copies. I mean, I don't know 1 million, but you know what I mean. A shit ton of copies of them.
But I think that's the thing is it's the source material people are interested in. They're not interested in something that's related to it, like a prequel comic book to the Fantastic Four movie. Who fucking cares? What story inspired it? Where can I go get it? and have it available, and do some really nice editions of it and make it fucking expensive.
And honestly, I mean, you talk to most of the world, and every single time that it's like, oh, inspired by this book, what is the common thing you've always heard? The book is better.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody goes and seeks out the fucking book.
Yeah, nobody
have the book available.
Oh wow, there's a Thanos comic book coming out. While Thanos is the big villain, I can read it. Monthly. For the next year. Most people are not used to that format. You should just have the whole story available to go and get.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I think they've gone about this entire thing wrong, and they did, pretty much waste an entire decade and a half where they could have overtaken DC's popularity when it comes to collected editions.
Mm-hmm.
And DC is still dominating them and has been for 40 years? 50th this year?
I mean, the tail wagging the dog analogy comes back again, because that's what Marvel's let the MCU become. It is the tail. And now, Tommy, you mentioned before,
because Marvel Comics thinks that their fans are movie fans rather than their comic fans.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And they thought that they could convert movie fans to comic fans. And if 5 million people see Endgame, we could get even 20% of that. That's now 1 million new comic fans. Fuck the 50,000 are still here. We don't need them. We got 1 million right there. So they never show up.
This is another area that manga, another reason why manga kicks ass over American comics right now is because typically when you adapt a manga to the medium of animation or to a film or whatever, or what have you, you adapt it pretty close to the source material. You tell the story that's in the manga. And then what happens is people watch the show and they go, well, what happens next? And they don't want to wait for the next season. And then they go and they start buying the manga. The way that American cinema always does it is, well, let's just take it and split it open and rip out this stuff that we think is dumb and put our Hollywood stuff into the skin of this and now present it to you. And there's no way that ever goes back to the comics, because even if you do walk into a comic shop and you say, I sure like that Captain America movie, what do you got for me? You're not going to be able to, it's really difficult to recommend anything that people are going to be able to pick up and start out with and go and enjoy. You have to go all right, well, listen, there was a good run of Cap, in the 250s. You're going to want to get into there. We got some back issues. Here's some trades of it.
Roger Stern.
But if you're like, oh, yeah, no, Steve Rogers isn't Captain America right now. It's this other, it's Falcon.
This guy.
Even if you had, okay, let's say Captain America Civil War comes out. It's a big movie. Even if they had the Civil War trade paperback available right there, a movie goer walks into the comic shop, there is 1,000 characters in this series that you've never fucking heard of that play big roles.
But the thing about Captain America, the Winter Soldier, if you did that one, there is a story to go on to this kind of classic that you could actually keep reading it with the death of Captain America.
You could do that. The whole 24 issues of the first 24 issues of Brubaker's run. Boom, nailed it. You have that out in an omnibus. On the Brubaker's Captain America Volume 1. Everybody that was reading that goes, "Fuck!" It's a pretty close adaptation. And the series had a little bit extra. There's a couple other plots that actually interest me. Maybe even though it's, I don't know what the next movie is because they hadn't announced Civil War at that point. He goes, oh, well, maybe I'll just pick up the follow-up omnibus because that might be the next movie. And then it turns out it's Civil War and they got to go buy something else. And they get confused. But that is how you can convert them into possibly comic readers.
We did get their compact version of Winter Soldier from Marvel 10 years later.
Yeah, I know. Way to strike while the iron is fucking frigid.
I mean, imagine coming from Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, and then picking up that trade paperback and being like, what the is this? It's got nothing to do with the movie.
That Bendis Age of Ultron series. What the fuck's Wolverine doing here? And why is it time travel?
What's wrong with the Invisible Woman? What's going on?
Well,
Who's
I don't know.
this
When I saw the Avengers sequel, I was asking myself, why is this called Age of Ultron? This is roughly like maybe 2 weeks of Ultron.
Yeah.
Man, they definitely fumbled it up. We got lots of people chiming in here too. There's always a good conversation. Daisuke says, Wes, you need to play the Wolverine Origins movie tie-in game. It's on PS3, so you don't have to steal your son's Switch for this one.
It is great. It's so much better than the movie. It's a lot of fun.
That movie is dog shit.
Yeah, the movie's bad, but
yes,
the game is really fun.
Yeah, because they were working on a Wolverine comic game at the time, and then it was like, oh, they're doing the Wolverine movie, and they want us to switch over and make it about the movie. So there's still a lot of like comic book stuff in there that makes it so much better than that dog shit film.
Well, maybe I should check that one out because I do have a PlayStation 3. It's my preferred console.
Mm-hmm. I thought Liev Schreiber really pulled that movie together. I mean, I
Liev
really
Schreiber was great. He's not the problem with the movie,
right?
No,
he's not the problem.
Deadpool.
He didn't write the movie
and the effects. The Wolverine is pretty good though. I like that one.
It is.
Except for his CG.
Good until you get to that third act. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the third act is bad.
It's better than X-Men Apocalypse, and I didn't even touch Dark Phoenix. Yeah, I didn't know
Dark
that.
Phoenix is quite possibly the worst X-Men movie I have ever seen.
It's so bad.
Aren't you glad we're getting more genre stuff from Simon Kinberg? Aren't you excited?
You get 10 cool whole seconds of Michael Fassbender on a train, though. So
yeah.
How was New Mutants the movie? Did anyone
did
see
not
it?
see
Oh
it.
God, that is
okay.
That is definite. That is the worst superhero movie I've seen, and I watched Man Thing.
Ooh,
Rate that 7. The MCU hurt Marvel Comics due to mandated synergy that demanded the comics resemble the MCU versions of characters, including the stories. 100%. That is exactly how they did it. And there was always, we got the Civil War movie coming out. Let's have Bendis write Civil War 2 that has nothing in common, with it, and then end up driving somebody like Aaron, who was a Marvel zombie, out of the fucking hobby.
Yeah, that just pushed me right out.
And do you still remember the day when you were reading that book and your friend's like, what's wrong with your face?
Yeah, she's like, are you all right? And I was just like, I closed the book and I put it in the plastic and I went, I don't enjoy this anymore. And I threw it down on the pile and I got up and I left the room.
it's like Token in the in that South Park. I'm out.
You should have fucking froze it and cracked with a hammer or something fun. Remember when people used to do
I
that?
did with Iceman?
Exactly.
Red Letter did with all those Star Wars action figures.
Oh yeah, where they just melted them all down.
You melted them all.
Jill Lindsay says, "Hey, I've been wanting to get into Iron Man. Can I get some recommendations to start?"
Armor Wars, Demon in a Bottle.
Yeah, but that's all.
Extremis is good.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about the David Michelini run. I also would recommend the Denny O'Neil run. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is Extremis the last story worth reading, Tom?
Oh, it might be.
It might be, because before Extremis was Tony Stark's Secretary of Defense. And that wasn't bad, because everything after that is all the Fraction,
Gillen, Tom Taylor,
Karen Gillen, Tom Taylor, Bendis, that fucking journalist guy, Dan Slott. Yeah, it has been 20 years. You know what? Infamous Iron Man wasn't bad, but it was a Doom book.
So I would go back to the Michelini stuff to start. Personally. And I think you'll like that one. And Iron Man's not meant to be read in story arcs. It's meant to just be read as a run. It's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and if you the early like Avengers stuff that Bendis was doing with Iron Man was fun. Like, you can, if you want something a little more modern.
Yeah. And honestly, like Mighty Avengers, whenever he split it after Civil War with Iron Man running the Mighty Avengers team, Captain America, Bucky, I guess, kind of running the new Avengers team. Wasn't wasn't bad.
Bankish is talking about The Crossing. Yeah, that's a great story. Definitely go read that one too. But Iron Man's a difficult character.
Wasp is in a weird cocoon. The Crossing is where Wasp is like in a weird cocoon, and Iron Man's been a traitor for years because of Kang, and we get some, and then he comes back as like Teen Iron Man for a while.
Teen Tony.
I don't.
And then they had to unfuck. They had to do Heroes Reborn just to unfuck how fucked the Avengers were at that point.
You know, when they brought him back, it was just Tony again. That we never mentioned Teen Tony again.
Nope.
Omega Man says bending over backwards to alter character to resemble a different medium only derails that character's momentum by regular readers in exchange for a few people who might come over from a movie. Yeah.
That's what I mean by the tail wagging the dog.
We'll never get another Guardians of the Galaxy book as good as what Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning did, because we'll never get that version of the characters ever again.
No.
Correct. We'll never get a non-borderline retarded Drax. We'll never get a himbo fucking Peter Quill.
We'll never get a non-Robert Downey Jr. flavored Tony Stark ever again.
Correct.
And we'll never have writers that read those comics before the MCU. We'll only get writers that got into it because they saw the MCU.
Well, there's a lot of comic book writers, but it does seem like we are getting proliferation of people who know the characters strictly from film, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it started with like, you know, when you started to see like slight infiltration, like, why do you want to work in comics? And it'd be like, because I liked the X-Men animated series. Did you read any comics before that? No. Have you read any comics since? No.
No.
It's like Devin Grayson got in because she was like, she called up DC and was like, boy, I'm a lady and I have a vagina and I sure liked that Batman animated series. And they were like, oh, here's all the work. Mark Waid really would like to date you.
Yeah, they screwed up a lot of the characters, unfortunately.
This is where I'm at, where I'm like, do we actually need another Heroes Reborn?
I'm just glad they haven't made Spider-Man in comic books Spider-Lad or Iron Lad like that we got in the MCU. At least they still acknowledge Uncle Ben.
They tried to when they did that slot after Peter was Peter again and not Otto, and his suit became like ultra high tech for basically that entire like next 2 volumes. And he had the Spider-Mobile again, and he was running Parker Industries before he ran it into the ground.
Parker Industries was the worst idea ever.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they turned him into Iron Lad because they just turned him into Iron Spider again.
Yeah. At least he still thinks about Uncle Ben. You don't even mention him in the goddamn movies.
Yeah. That's because he doesn't
may or
exist
may not
there.
have existed, yeah.
And because Aunt May is the one that teaches him about power and responsibility now.
Even though he already saved the universe, Aunt May's the one that teaches him about great power and great responsibility. Everything's so backwards.
Well, it's always been its own kind of thing. Ever since Iron Man 1, though, 18 years ago, I Am Iron Man. That was novel. That was a divergence right from the beginning. I mean, Jarvis was a human butler. Now he's the AI.
Well, that's because they were pulling from the Ultimate Universe. They had already done
exactly.
It was the Ultimate,
yes.
because all that stuff was all. Go ahead.
I said that's why we got not Nick Fury.
Yeah. Well, also, it actually did have a little bit to do with the fact that Sam Jackson, when he was approached about it, like when the Ultimates launched, and basically about not getting likeness rights for using him, he's like, yeah, well, I won't sue if they let me play him in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was kind of a story. No, he actually said it in an interview.
Yeah, I imagine
Wizard interview. Well, I mean, that's kind of how it worked out.
Well, Sam Jackson was in everything. He was in fucking Star Wars then.
Right, because it's like, hey, wait, Sam Jackson will agree to show up for anything? He'll be in any movie? Right on.
Daisuke says, as a kid growing up with the X-Men movies, they screwed that up. They were a crossover audience that died on the vine.
I don't think so. There because I was late teens, early 20s when the X-Men movies were coming out, when they started coming out. And no, I was 20, 21. And there was, most of the people that I talked to that weren't comic fans were kids that watched the cartoon. Most of the people that were at the theater. So there, I wouldn't say it's a crossover audience because that audience still never picked up the comics. Every time I talk to that audience, their reference for continuity is what happened in the cartoon for everything.
Yeah, and then in the movies, while the first one's good and the second one is excellent, the third one is absolutely terrible. And then you get that really bad the Wolverine or Wolverine Origin movie, and then it doesn't get good again until you get back to X-Men First Class.
Yeah, First Class is great. Days of Future Past is excellent, and then we get Apocalypse, and it goes to shit.
And then Dark Phoenix,
and it somehow gets worse.
And remember, it keeps jumping 10 years each time from First Class to Apocalypse to but the characters are all still just a couple of years older,
teenagers.
It's like
it's an interesting conceit though, because it's like that's where the X-Men started in the 60s, and then the all new X-Men in the 70s, and then like throwing the X-Men into the 80s like that. And I
understand. No. I get that. But and I can live with that in the same way that I live with the fact that Gotham is both 1930 and 2025 at the same time. I mean, I live with that. I understand that, yes, they're still driving fucking Model Ts, but then they have a Lamborghini that pulls up next to it. So, yeah, I'm willing to suspend disbelief on that.
And with X-Men, you could make the point that, like, well, that's how the comic books work. It's just a sliding time scale, right? But, when you couple that with the fact that we're dealing with Simon, continuity is the hobgoblin of small minds, Kinberg, which is basically like, this is just my, the lamppost on which I hang my lazy writing. That becomes a problem because your audience will sit there and they'll start to dissect things. It's like they're not making that leap with you, because you've decided that that's how you're going to handle these properties. They're going like, wait a minute, shouldn't these characters be like, they were 20 in the 60s, or they were like teenagers in the 60s. Shouldn't they be like 50 now?
50 in the 90s?
Nah, didn't bother me. Rate Deck 7, the problem with synergy is that it is applied to live action movie and TV rules and creative decisions that were driven by limited budgets to the comics. He's definitely got a problem there, or a point there, Tommy. And I know you're about to head out, so why don't you answer this one and then give us your comic book recommendations this week?
I mean, I kind of agree. I think that's very true. The reality is when I look at comic books in general and I look at the MCU is the one at one time was making all their money. Comic books is such a small percent of total revenue for Disney in general. I just don't think there's a ton of eyes on everything that's going on within the MCU. That's just my They bought it as an IP so they could use those characters for the things they want to do in the MCU. And I think that's the biggest issue. If it was never bought by a giant corporation like Disney, I think the movies and the comic books would be in a much better place. But unfortunately, here we are.
Amen.
All right. So you got any comic books you want to recommend this week?
With all the craziness around Dork, which I think is just ridiculous, I actually did enjoy the comic book. It was kind of fun. And I had him on my podcast, Brett Bean, one of the coolest guys. So I did have a lot of fun with that. White Sky, I did pick up. It set down the foundation. I thought it was pretty good. I will be checking out issue 2. The other one, and I know you all covered it. What was it? Batman and Robin. I know I'm a little late to the game, but I think this is the best series that DC had, and I'm so sad to see that Philip Kennedy Johnson is no longer writing that. A lot of fun. G.I. Joe this week was phenomenal. I love this title so much. And then I think a friend of the program, Conquer, Mark. This was awesome. Mark Miller. Did you get yours, Wes? I think this is the one that you ordered too, right? Did you get back?
I did, but I have not received it yet. No.
You haven't? Okay, yeah. A lot of fun, man. The art's great. The story's awesome. Had a bunch of fun with that. And then I was mentioning if you're a Jonah Hex fan, which I know Dylan and I had an opportunity to interview Jimmy Palmiotti. He did make a promise that if you pick up the latest omnibus, he will do a sketch in it and sign it. And he did that for me. So shout out to Jimmy. He's so good with the fans, man. I really enjoy him. Other than that, man, I really always appreciate being with the aficionados, man. Best channel and YouTube when it comes to comic book content. And as always, thanks for inviting me.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. And if you're looking for awesome interviews, definitely don't let Tommy fool you. That's the best channel on YouTube. World of War Comics, right, dude?
Appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, there's a link if you want to go check it out in the video description. Really appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Appreciate you.
See you, Tommy.
See ya.
Be safe. Have a great one.
You too.
Daisuke says, we were used to manga adaptations, so we thought the Ultimate X line was with the movies, but the Ultimate X line was a crap soap opera, so we ditched it.
That's true. God, that was
Mark
garbage.
Miller's Ultimate X-Men?
Hated it. Hated it. Yep. I like Mark. Hated that book.
It's not as good as the Ultimates.
Not as good as the Ultimates.
No, Ultimate Spider-Man was great. Ultimates was great.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate Fantastic Four was less to be desired. It was the first original sin of the adaptations of the Fantastic Four, which is where they want to make the Fantastic Four and Doom's origins tied together.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And every attempt at the Fantastic Four movies or otherwise since has kind of done that, except for the most recent.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and then Ultimate X-Men was, oh man, there were times I liked it and times that I'm like, please stop.
If you want to tie Doom, thinking of that first Fantastic Four movie and even like the Fan Four Stick movie, if you want to tie Doom's origin to the Fantastic Four, I understand why you want to do that shorthand in a movie. I really do. But what you do is you have him go on the mission and then he's the only one that doesn't get powers. And that fuels him even more with his hatred and his jealousy for Reed Richards, is because all of this power is rightfully mine. That's always Doom's thing, is that, everybody has something that is rightfully his and he can't stand it. So, that's the way you do it.
That's $1 million idea, Aaron. You should keep that one to yourself.
I'm like, they're never going to hire me to write a Fantastic Four script.
Yeah, but someone else will steal it.
Well,
Fantastic.
whatever. Maybe I'll get a good Fantastic Four movie for once in my life. That would be wild, wouldn't it? I pitched out how they fix Blade too, since they got their heads so far up their ass that they can't get that Mahershala Ali Blade movie off the ground. So instead, you just bring back Wesley Snipes. You do the Old Man in Winter story with Blade, but it's set in the year 2099, and you introduce a whole new universe that you can play in, since you've basically tanked the existing MCU. But they're not going to do that, and they wouldn't be able to do it anyway because they would just cock that one up too.
Omega Man says movies are inherently limited in ways comics are not, yet comics always have had envy for the film. Frank Miller called this out decades ago. Comics are insecure and seek legitimacy from film adaptations. Yep. I agree with all of that. It's unfortunate because I think comics are a superior form of storytelling because you're so not limited by budget and everything. But you don't get to be a big movie star. You don't get to go visit Conan O'Brien or whoever the big late night talk show guy is. And you certainly don't make quite as much money.
Conan O'Brien.
It's this
Conan O'Brien.
He hasn't been a late night talk show host in how long?
Remember that?
I do.
It's this retarded inferiority complex that everyone in comics has. That's why when some loser from some other medium comes over, like, This guy wrote the screenplay for 12 Years a Slave and has done nothing else in his entire life. But we're going to give him any comic he ever wants to write, and we're very excited about it because he's from movies. Or
Christopher Cantwell.
Batman. Yeah. Okay.
Christopher Cantwell, he wrote one good season of a 3-season show. Let's put him on all kinds of comic books.
Yeah.
And it doesn't move the needle.
Everyone that failed out of Hollywood, they're gracing us with their presence. Bitch, they have nowhere else to go. You're their fallback plan.
Yeah.
It's like the 45-year-old guy that the high school cheerleader is now finally willing to give a chance. Yeah, you're fat and have 5 kids now.
You only need to wait for her desperation to reach your level. That's all.
Yes. Just wait for your standards to come down, honey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is 100% the comic book industry.
Remember when they said that they were going to sell 1 million copies of Spider-Man #1 because J.J. Abrams?
His son was.
Remember when we sold 1 million copies of Star Wars? I think I want to do that again. C.B. Cebulski going out there and just making an absolute clown out of himself.
They teased for like a week straight what that announcement was, and then it was like J.J. Abrams' son is writing a Spider-Man comic. That's
fucking who?
Yeah. I remember people were speculating. I know Breed, who's an enormous Spider-Man fan, was like, man, I think they must have an old Stan Lee Spider-Man script that they never turned into a comic book. Maybe they're doing that. He was imagining all kinds of great things. It was like,
or it could have been, one issue that Jack Kirby illustrated, because he did try his hand a little bit early on in the development process for being the artist on Amazing Spider-Man, but he could never get it right. And that's one of the reasons why Ditko was the artist. And maybe you could have that. Maybe it was like, Stan penciled one eventually, or Kirby, Jack penciled one in his free time when he was bored, and we found it, and we're going to publish it with an unpublished Stan script.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. That might have done it.
I wish C.B. Cebulski would have said, he would have done we're going to sell 1 million copies again, and then announced this Marvel Jay and Silent Bob comic. Oh, that would have been great.
That would have been good. Daisuke says, as a kid, cartoons were primary, comics were secondary, and the movies were tertiary.
Yeah. Well, because as a kid, they would do the thing that I always said, which was they'd be like, hey, we're gonna do a Flash movie, and you'd be like, a Flash movie? I want to see that. And they'd be like, do you like Deadshot? And you'd be like, I do like Deadshot. And they'd be like, well, he's in the movie. And you'd be like, oh boy. And they'd go, and he rides a motorcycle. And you're like, neat. And then they go, and he cuts little marks on himself when he kills somebody. And you're like, that's sass. And then they go, and he travels through time. And you're like, what? It's like they would just, or they'd be like, King Shark. And it would just be like a guy in a skin, in a shark skin suit that's a mobster. You'd be like, that's not King Shark. But that's what you would get.
Well, everything was wrapped around selling toys to kids, so cartoons were the primary generator of even ideas at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They never made any Flash figures based off that John Wesley Shipp Flash show, though.
John Wesley Shipp is a fucking gem. We will not have any John Wesley Shipp bashing on this channel.
No ship talking.
They should have had some Flash figures out at the time, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That was a good show, dude.
Oh, Amanda Pays, she was hot. Is Lisa McGee there? Was that her name? Yeah. McGee, the
Captain
the
Cold. I remember Captain Cold being kind of cool. I was like, well, it's not the comic book, but it's still kind of cool.
Did you see that he recently re-released that Corbin fucking Captain America movie on Blu-ray?
Yeah, but apparently it's recut.
And it's actually not terrible. I mean, it's still bad, but
my brother and I would walk around the house. My brother and I would walk around the house calling each other my brother because of the overacting of the guy of the Italian Red Skull.
And I mean, it's J.D. Salinger's kid.
Somebody wants me to do the whole show in my old-timey voice.
Jack Handler West, you seemed rather perturbed by the ushering in of Chip Zdarsky at a premium position of Marvel. Such gratuitous use of F-bombs. Not happy, huh? No, I'm not happy. Because Marvel are getting their pants beat in. They're getting destroyed by DC Comics. Quality-wise, they've been getting pants for like 3 years. Now it's finally caught up into the sales. You expect them to have some type of reaction to that. Like, oh, we need to do something different. We need to have a better idea, new voices, do something to change our fortunes. Bringing in Chip Zdarsky is continuing to do the exact same thing that you've been doing. And he's coming off one of the worst Batman runs in the history of comic books.
Yep.
This is a terrible idea. If I use too many F-bombs, it happens.
The only reason it's not considered the worst run on Batman is because Tom King's run exists.
Man, I don't know that anything Tom King did was as bad as Gotham War. Did you read
that? Might be fair. That might be fair.
I read the first issue of Gotham War because we covered it on this, and
yeah,
that was also the last issue I read of Gotham War.
Yeah,
was that the one?
I wasn't happy.
That was the smartest thing Marvel did, was sending over Chip to ruin Batman.
Yes.
Is that the one with the Lazarus Pit meteorite thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was terrible.
But I would like to see Marvel attempt to compete, and with this move, they are not doing that. And he says, they just had their creative summit. That means it's locked in for 2 years. Like, there's no turning back. That's a bad idea.
Well, and then at Comics Pro, they were like, this Avengers Armageddon thing that they're talking about, and it's like, who cares?
Well, you're just going to get origin boxes, and they're just going to throw powers onto new people that are likely to be.
They get to be even
originals.
They get to be even lazy. It's the even lazier version of all new, all different, and and Marvel Now, where they just created the diversity bingo versions. Now they don't even need to come up with origins. They literally have a magic box that gives them origins.
I've got it. Let's give Kamala Khan the Phoenix Force. Or did they do that already?
Welcome to Marvel, the House of Idea.
I like that Sully calls her Camel Khan.
Kamala
Khan.
Kamala with the
she rides on a camel now.
Kamala was a wrestler.
Why have they not done that? Why is there not on the Legion or on whatever their Super Pets version is? Remember they were doing that book with Lockjaw and I don't know,
it was
Squirrel
so
and shit. Yeah,
like,
have Kamala Khan in there.
Jesus.
I mean, look, this is under Disney, who just introduced Captain Durag, so it's not like, stumbling over yourself and accidentally doing offensive racial stereotypes is out of the wheelhouse here.
Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. In your opinion, Wes, what was a bigger blunder? Ghost Rider in a wheelchair or Miles Morales, the hip-hop Thor in Brooklyn, Asgard? Certainly the Miles Morales was the far bigger blunder because they had to come out and personally apology and basically grovel because their portrayal of a hip-hop Asgard was entirely racist. Where I do think the Ghost Rider in a wheelchair might be more embarrassing and a dumber idea. It didn't get near the amount of publicity. They didn't have to apologize for it, and basically nobody knows that it happened. So I would say the bigger blunder is Thor.
The crippled spider is up there too. But see, here's the
swings
thing:
around with a wheelchair stuck to her back.
The one that wasn't created by T. Franklin, but she tried to take credit for it when it had a brief cameo in the Spider-Verse movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. No, but the By Odin's Fade was the funniest fucking comic I have ever read.
Oh no, that book was hilarious. It felt like a what the, like it felt like because back in the day in like the early 80s, what if Luke Cage in the 70s had gotten the Hammer of Thor? It was just a one panel comic, and it's just Luke Cage going, by the gleaming gates of funky Asgard, you suckers gonna eat hammer. And it's like that's what that whole Miles Morales Thor thing felt like.
It was like the blaxploitation.
No, it's like an In Living Color skit when you're allowed to make jokes about race.
Yeah. I could have 100% seen Damon Wayans, like senior, not you junior. Fuck him, he's boring. Damon Wayans senior playing that version of Miles.
I'll say this though. The rap on the opening page a better written rap than we got Dazzler songs in the Dazzler comic.
In the
book.
Jason Liu
Yeah.
Dazzler.
High praise.
Much better.
Yeah. Then we did have a few more topics I wanted to get into. We're not going to have much time, but there is the rumor out there that there's going to be a Marvel crossover with Star Wars written by Mark Miller. It's been debunked by The Hollywood Reporter and a few other sources out there. Aaron, I know you said that it's a stupid idea, but as soon as I heard Marvel crossover Star Wars, I'm thinking it'd be pretty cool that when you get the reveal that Doom is actually Palpatine, that would be pretty badass. When you get like the Thing Wookiee fucking fight before the Thing joins the Millennium Falcon team and all that stuff. There's actually a lot of fun you could do with a Marvel Star Wars crossover.
What in the hell are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
It's the dumbest idea. Like it's an idea so dumb that I'm surprised they're not doing it. You know, honestly, it is like there is no world in which you cross those two over and anyone in Star Wars has a chance. Almost everyone in Star Wars gets bodied by almost everybody in Marvel. The power levels are off the charts. You'd have to do some dumb thing like when you cross over.
And somebody has been reading their EU because Luke Skywalker is pretty much invulnerable and can kill somebody across the galaxy.
I don't
mind.
know. Lightsaber versus adamantium.
Yeah, but that's EU. Win? That ain't a thing no more.
Yeah, the EU's been
this wouldn't be crossing over with the EU's be crossing over with the Marvel comics.
The Disneyverse.
Well, the Disney version of fucking Darth Vader has been shown to be pretty
powerful.
Oh, I got it.
And Cyclops can take his fucking head off from across.
You would block it with his goddamn lightsaber, puts it back at him and kill it. What are you talking about? This is fairly established.
This is
okay, and then Magni or any of the X-Men psychics literally just kill them all.
Magneto just rolls Darth Vader up. He just rolls Darth Vader up into a little ball like you would do with the tinfoil.
Oh yeah, Magneto versus Vader is not. You have to choose your matchup wisely.
No, there are medals out there that Magneto can't mess with. Iron Man made his entire Iron Man costume out of that.
You got to do perhaps
that's what they're using in the Star Wars universe.
Darth Vader versus Speedball. That's the level of matchup you have to have for like anything to even like
chop him right in half.
Yoda versus D-Man.
I wouldn't fight
Wes,
Yoda.
you gonna fight Yoda?
No.
You might be like you know what? No, they would do it, and then somebody would actually just rip the puppet off somebody's hand.
Emo Kylo Ren and Ultimate Doctor Doom
we're not
in
throwing
his negative
Kylo Ren in the
zone
book.
in a cry-off.
None of the sequel
it's
characters
Disney
make
Star
it
Wes.
in.
Wes. You have to put Kylo Ren in there.
No,
Rey
they
has
want to
be
make money.
front
If they're
and center.
doing this, they're fucking desperate. And they're going to want the original character.
Oh, they're desperate, but they're still dumb.
Yeah.
Dylan, this isn't the worst idea of all times.
No, if you choose the right, characters, yeah. Like I mean, Bullseye going around Mos Eisley would be cool. Like you could do some stuff that would be sick to see.
The Punisher trying to hunt down fucking Boba Fett.
Oh,
and then they realize they're on the same side and go murder everybody. It'd be great.
Boba Fett's like, what were we talking about? Fat Boba Fett. We talking like fat Boba Fett with the heart of gold. Just
None of
wants to
the
be a benevolent crime lord.
Real Boba Fett.
He goes to shoot
pre-Sarlacc Boba.
His hand his gun slips out of his hand because he was eating chicken wings.
Ooh, man.
Punisher still kills him with a fucking claymore.
No,
like
because
2 seconds in.
He's got a jetpack. He would fly over the claymore. That's ridiculous. But obviously they find out that they've been sent against each other, and then the real threat is out there, and then they team up. That's how you do one of those books.
I got it. Jarvis the Butler meets C-3PO, and then Jeff the Land Shark meets R2-D2. And yes, it's
no.
Yeah.
Kirby meets fucking R2-D2. Let's get some cool robots.
Ooh.
So is Doc?
Okay.
Are Doc and I the standouts? Like, are we the ones who are holding the line about this being like one of the dumbest ideas ever?
It's not a dumb idea.
I see Red Skull as Palpatine. Come on, you pull back the hood.
No, Doom. It's got to be Doom because he's got the fucked up face.
You know what?
Why not? Any
Do
character
it.
as another character. What? Since when is that the crossover?
No. I'm just saying that would be a cool reveal. He fucking moves his mask and it's Palpatine the whole
matters.
time.
Yeah, you know what? Just
I don't.
You know what? They've already ruined both franchises. Just put them together. You know what? Just put Star Wars in the Marvel universe at this point. Who cares? Nothing.
Well, don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's actually the past of the Shi'ar Empire. Fuck it. What does it matter?
I don't know. I want fun.
Nothing
things.
matters.
My heart is not broken like your guys's. I want fun things.
No, because
this is the fundamental problem. This is the fundamental problem we're having with Wes lately. Is we'll talk about something. Dylan will mention something that he likes, or I'll mention something that I like that is like a perennial favorite of the multitude of people, and Wes will be like, "Man, that sucks." But you know what's good? Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon is a perfectly good show about family. Well, you guys keep trying to make me look like a wanker, but no.
Big Bang Theory, one of my favorites.
Big Bang Theory is fine for what it is, especially the first 4 or 5 seasons.
It's nerd blackface.
You're with me, Dylan. This would be fun, but Mark Miller's not going to be writing Star Wars Marvel crossover, unfortunately.
But there is fun stuff to do with it. Yeah, I agree that it could be fun done right, but I don't trust Marvel to do it.
Would you trust Lucasfilm to do it?
Even less so.
Yeah.
They blow up Alderaan to reveal that Galactus is on the other side, just about to eat.
Aw, darn.
No, you're doing a robot chicken episode.
That would be a very funny bit where like he keeps getting cucked by the Death Star. Like every time he goes to planet, Death Star just destroys it first.
Yeah, you have to do this. The only way it can be done is so very specific to the point where everyone reading would go, man, if he fought literally anyone else, he would have gotten slaughtered. Man, if he fought anybody else, he would have gotten slaughtered. That's all anybody's
Batman crossover. It was fine.
It was fine because TMNT and Batman are on the same fucking power level.
Yep.
Yeah, because
they're both fighting ninjas.
Because they chose the right characters, so you just choose the right characters. That's with every crossover, though. That's what you do.
You do a Superman TMNT.
Yes, we don't want Franklin Richards in the Star Wars Marvel crossover. He's too powerful.
Look, you can team up G.I. Joe and the Ninja Turtles. All right, you can do that. Yeah. And Dylan's right.
Yeah, this dude was fucking blowing his wad because Play School is going to have some TMNT G.I. Joe figures, but we can't do Marvel Star Wars. It's a bridge too far. Play School, the fucking toys or Playmates, whatever it is.
Playmates. Play School and Playmates are very, very different things.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude.
I could go for some Ninja Turtle Weebles. Remember Weebles?
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Oh no, they could do a.
Aaron's acting like he's above something, but he's fine.
I'm totally above a Star Wars Marvel crossover. You know why? Because both suck now.
I want some strawberry shortcakes.
Let's take this piece of steam and shit and combine it with this piece of steam and shit, and maybe we'll get something good, because that's how that works.
Inferno has a point. Batman wouldn't last 5 minutes with the real TMNT. That's probably correct, but it just depends on how you write it.
I know Shredder beat his ass in that animated movie.
Yeah. What might work though is a Play School TMNT pizza oven.
Yeah, Aaron would buy that, and then he'd be like, "I would never read Marvel versus Star Wars."
Why would I buy a pizza oven? I'm an adult. I have a real oven. This is like when my friend's girlfriend bought him a motorcycle game for his birthday, and he was like, "I have a real motorcycle."
Wasn't there like a Green Lantern?
Sully never would have pulled that move. He would be like,
listen, the only way that this works, the only way you can do a Marvel Star Wars crossover and have it work is it has to be a comedy and it has to be done in Lego. Like, a Lego movie crossing over Star Wars and Marvel could work.
They did Batman TMNT. It was great. They got to get the right artist, and you got to have somebody that loves the properties. I think Mark would probably do a decent job. He's just
the Batman TMNT movie was awful.
Talk about the comic book.
Okay,
this is a comic channel, Aaron. Welcome back to the program. What are you doing?
Well, maybe if comics weren't shit right now, I'd be more interested.
So fucking Marco Cicchetto on that bad boy. Be fucking great.
Oh, so that we can only get 3 panels of Spider-Man or
that wasn't him.
Vader per issue.
That's not his. It's not his. He's just going by the script, Doc. You can't blame Marco for that. It's Jonathan Hickman who's not interested in telling you a Spider-Man story, not Marco. Marco would probably love to tell you a Spider-Man story.
But I think that Doc and Aaron are crazy. That this would be a perfectly fine idea, and I'm sure that they have actually visited it it would be weird to have those two franchises and not consider maybe doing a crossover. But I don't think they're quite desperate in that. When they do it, you will know that Marvel could not be more desperate.
Okay, here's what it comes down to. We already had Marvel admit years ago, almost 25 years ago, that if the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Marvel Universe meet ever cross over, that means they are creatively bankrupt.
That's what said.
It's already happened. If they do this, they don't deserve to exist as a publisher anymore.
Yeah. There are plenty of comic books that do crossovers all the time. One of your favorite comic books of all time is what? Wildcats versus Alien.
Yeah, and you know what happened? The fucking Xenomorphs slaughtered them.
Well, I'm glad that you love the story. They should not exist anymore. I guess they all died.
You'd be better off doing Xenomorphs in Star Wars. You'd be better off doing that.
I could see Xenomorphs in Star Wars. I could see a Predator Star Wars crossover.
Could you see the Brood in Star Wars? Because I could.
I could see the Brood because they're basically just aliens. They're Xenomorphs.
Back in the day,
they're the cockroach version of Xenomorph.
Back in the day before they ruined Boba Fett, a Boba Fett versus Predator story would have been really cool.
But you don't think a Boba Fett versus Punisher would be cool?
No.
Oh, it'd be great. Crazy.
I just want to be a benevolent crime
These
lord.
people don't want love in their hearts. Daisuke says DC's Henchman #1, a horror anthology from the perspective of the henchmen, civilians of Gotham.
There was almost a game like that. Dylan, did you hear about this? Like, we almost got a Batman game that used the Nemesis system, or there was almost a maybe there's two different ones, but there was a Batman game where you were a low-level henchman and you would like work for the different mobs and things like that. So you'd end up working for the Penguin, you'd end up working for Two-Face.
I think I remember hearing something about that.
Shit pushed in by Batman.
Yeah, it's like, and you'd have to like rise up and become like a villain. Like the goal was kind of like to become one of the big villains of Gotham and take on Batman.
That would be fun.
Be fun.
So just having each like level ends with an unwinnable boss fight against Batman.
it's and how long you survive determines how quickly you level up. Basically, it's Grand Theft Auto, but in DCU.
Yeah, because how many criminals are there? You're not going to run into Batman every night. You're probably
Grand Theft Auto Gotham City. That's what we need. Grand Theft Auto Gotham City.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
there is an actual $1 billion idea.
We'll accept that one because it fits within the established parameters of both universes.
I'm telling you right now, you go to Gotham City and you beat up a hooker and take her money, Batman's going to have your ass.
Well, not if he's on the other side of town stopping Firefly.
Maybe it'll be Robin.
Realize how many people still
get
stolen in Gotham?
We got HH in the family from Sigma Comics. Shout out to Thinking Critical Team. Had car trouble on the Brooklyn Bridge, but HH got her done. We'll catch the replay tonight. Support the Thinking Critical Team now and always. Oh, that sucks. I wouldn't want to broke down on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming that I'm going to be seeing HH at MegaCon. I think that's probably going to happen.
Dude, are you guys going to go get sushi?
I don't know. We'll go do something. Go do something cool. HH always knows the spots, man.
Are you a fish taco guy, Aaron?
Yeah, I'll eat a fish taco.
Yeah, fish tacos.
Like Ensenada style? Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely go out there and support Sigma Comics. HH is a great guy, and if you're making the con scene, there's a good chance that he's going to be at your local con very, very soon. The dude is always on the road, always selling.
He's at every con. Even when there's cons that are on different weekends in different cities, he's at all of them. He's omnipresent at conventions.
He is the con god.
Wraithx 7, the only Marvel Star Wars crossover that could work would be crossing Marvel's OG Micronauts comic with Star Wars.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Oh, I want some Micronauts figures.
You don't think the Guardians of the Galaxy could end up in Star Wars?
How about like Rom the Space Knight?
Well, I mean, we already got Guardians of the Galaxy in Star Wars. It was called The Last Jedi when they tried to do the comedy at the beginning, with the Yo Mama jokes. So, yeah, I've already seen Marvel infiltrate Star Wars, and it sucks.
So now you're blaming the fall of Lucasfilm on Marvel Comics?
No, I'm blaming it on Kathleen Kennedy. Dave Filoni and Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams is who I'm blaming it on.
Yeah, there's
For
way more
trying
stuff
to
you
do
guys
this
can
fucking
do.
terrible idea crossover.
Ooh, like Space Knights versus
Iron
Jedi
Man
Knights.
versus Darth Vader. Darth Vader destroys him in his armor. He has to come back with a lightsaber resistant fucking new metal alloy.
Ooh.
Iron Man would body Vader. He doesn't even have to get close.
Vader would grab him by the throat while he was 100
like
yards away and then start smashing him in between fucking walls. What are you talking
This is like
about?
Godzilla versus Bambi.
He
These
can
guys are
nuke him from
ridiculous.
space.
This is a bit, Dylan. This is a bit. They're not being serious.
No, you're
right?
doing a
Iron
bit.
Man
You're
would
doing the bit by
nuke him
suggesting
from
that this could
orbit.
even work. This could not work outside of a.
There's a
Lego
man with a
crossover.
fucking jetpack in the Star Wars universe, and he was pretty fucking scared of Darth Vader. I think Iron Man would be too.
You realize
Who
any
was afraid-
jabron
who had a
half of the
jetpack? Who had a jetpack and was afraid of Darth Vader?
His name
Boba
was fucking Boba Fett.
Boba Fett wasn't afraid of Darth Vader. He talked. She's the only character in the original trilogy that talked shit to Vader.
No disintegrations.
Do you realize
He
how
said
many
yes, sir.
jabronis
No, he said,
in
"As
the
you
Marvel
wish,"
universe have
and
a
then
fucking
later
jetpack?
he says to him, "What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me." And Vader capitulates. He's the only character that Vader treats with any respect in those movies, aside from the Emperor.
So you think that he was more powerful than Vader based on?
I don't
those
think he was
films?
more powerful than Vader. I think he was respected by Vader, and I don't think he was afraid of Vader.
Well, I didn't say Vader wouldn't respect Iron Man, did I? I just said he'd just throw him around a little bit.
You said there was
Get
a
him
guy in Star Wars with a jetpack that was afraid of Vader, and when I asked you who that guy was, you said it was Boba Fett.
I maintain that he is afraid of Vader and he did want to cross him, but he's
I
willing
maintain
to
that
air
he's
his
not.
grievances.
I maintain that he has killed Jedi before, and he's not
Vader's
particularly
not a
afraid of the
Jedi.
Sith because the Mandalorians have a long-standing relationship with the Sith.
Man. Now, there's more than one way to skin that cat. I think it can work. We'll get
Really,
into that
jetpack is our metric here.
Yeah.
Vader
later. Just
gets
look at the similarities.
Listen, one fight I would like to see would be Darth Maul versus Elektra, though. That sounds cool. Think about
Fly
it.
now?
Darth Maul would.
but Darth Maul would destroy her.
You think? No, come on. You got to give some kind of
Well, unless she
equalization,
took
like,
unless she took the Qui-Gon stance.
maybe she
Then
had some like, lightsaber
he would
size.
stupidly go for the same thing and then get cut in half.
Well, the problem is she doesn't have anything that can compete. I don't think those little size are going to do much against a lightsaber. I think it's
Well, if
over.
they were lightsabers themselves.
What if she gets some
Lightsaber
pass?
Well,
side. Oh
and-
God, that's
Come on,
some
give her a little
fucking
upgrade.
Dave
Come on.
Filoni shit.
Let's have fun with that.
Oh,
No, she'll
That'd be bad.
Maul will just helicopter away because that's what
Yeah.
you do. I mean, he doesn't have the little mechanism, but he could probably spin it fast enough to where he can helicopter away. and
Just
Dave
manually.
Filoni-
Just breathing heavy, trying.
Wraith then acknowledges OG Star-Lord would also be able to cross over Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
OG Star Lord, like even pre, like
definitely be in the
the
Resistance.
Starlin, like Jim Starlin, like 1970s fucking
Marvel
magazine.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Star Lord definitely, because he was basically written not as part of the Marvel universe.
My goodness, these guys. We ready to do some comic book recommendations? All right, Dylan. This was not the greatest week of all times, but I'm
No.
sure there's something there to recommend.
There's still some good comics. Absolute Batman number 17, like we talked about. We got the full introduction of Poison Ivy. We got her cameo before. Now we get to see her. It's a great issue. Daredevil Punisher number 4, Devil's Trigger, which is Jimmy Palmiotti's sort of side to Welcome Back, Frank. Gives you another perspective on that stuff going on. It's been pretty good. I enjoyed this issue. White Sky number 1. It's pretty good. Sort of if you like The Last of Us, Walking Dead, Children of Men style, sort of is interesting. Post-apocalypse, but the apocalypse is a little different because it involves ghosts, and I liked it. It's a good setup. Hopefully the series ends up being good, but the first issue was good. I liked it. And then G.I. Joe number 19. G.I. Joe, consistently great.
No Dungeons of Doom? I thought that was your new favorite.
I haven't read issue 2 yet. I
No.
need to, but I didn't read it.
Oh, very good. You got any big videos or anything people should be on the lookout for?
I mean, I got a bunch of videos you can check out, but no new video this week. I haven't posted anything this week, but yeah, always stuff to check out.
Are you going to be watching the USA versus Canada hockey match?
Maybe it's at 5 a.m. my
Game!
time, so
Too early.
yeah, maybe.
Very nice. All right, Sparrow, you might not have any comic books to recommend, but I'm sure that you got some action figures to recommend.
Yeah, let's do that here. Let's see. Will this work? I don't know. Will it? Oh, that's weird. I'm recommending the new Night Viper that just came out. Night Viper is one of my favorite Cobra Troopers. Loved this figure as a kid, and this version here that they have done is absolutely fantastic. I think that anybody who's a GI Joe fan should consider grabbing this one. I've also got, if you check your Walmarts, some places they're down to $10, some places they're down to 20. But I don't know if you can see him here. The Desert Scorpion, he's popping up for cheap on clearance. So if you guys are army building or you just need to pick one up, go grab one of those. He comes with this giant ass scorpion. So that's pretty. Look at how it's tripping out here. But so there's those, and then also if you were lucky enough, I found one. Target was clearancing out Steeler and Short Fuse, so both of those were showing up for 20 some bucks at Target. Man, I got to get a better setup for this, but yeah, I thought I'd try something different, and it's just not working out.
Yes, the virtual green screen. You're tripping its mind, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta shut the filters off for that. Unfortunately, that's how it always works. I do enough fucking meetings with people that have the background filters on. It never works for showing anything.
Well, very good. Thank you very much for recommendations. You going to be on World Class Bullshitters or making any other appearances before you go to MegaCon?
Yeah, there's a World Class Bullshitters coming up on Tuesday. We're going to be going over the Mandalorian trailer a little bit late, but talking about that and some other things that are going on. And let's see. Tonight I'm going out to Glendale to have dinner with Matt Moylan from Udon, who's down here for Comics Pro, and just otherwise trying to get everything in order for print and overseeing all the stuff that we're doing for MegaCon with the Comic Mint. And I hope to see you guys there.
Very, very good. Sully, somebody says my boy Sully's back. I missed him.
Thank you so much, Andre.
He didn't miss you. He was out there having a sexy time. He was just having this big romantic weekend. He just dropped his bros like he don't even know us anymore.
I took
because he's one of those guys.
Come on, I have to have a life work balance now. I can't even make my own content anymore because I'm like I have to spend weekends with my lady. So
you can make other kind of content with her.
Start
the OnlyFans account.
That's right. Everybody go over and sign up for Sully fans.
Hello, everybody.
That's rough.
Only Sully's.
Sullyfans.com. Hello. Later on, I'll be giving myself a pedicure. I bet you're all tuning in for that.
Oh man, all the
he's
foot
definitely appealing to the foot fetish people.
Dude, yeah. Yep. Hey, go where the money's at.
All right, Sully, what are you recommending this week, bud?
I got a stack of funny books here. I took a couple of weeks off from picking up my books at the local funny book bodega, my local comic book shop. But I have a pull list, and they opened for me. I did get a crowdfunded coming in from Dolan Waddick and Aaron Sparrow. We got Naughty and Nice, The Return. And it was nice to back a comic from some friends. And I also got a special adult cover as well that has.
You don't need to
cover.
show that one.
And we're not going to show it, no, because that's all over TOS kind of stuff. No, I'm not going to do that to you, buddy. I'm bad enough as is with my takes.
I have nothing to do with those. I just edit the scripts.
Your name's in the book, Aaron.
I mean, I'm the editor on the script. I like
these boobs proudly presented by Aaron.
Are drawn quite well. Yeah, it's cute. I picked up Flash Gordon number 15, Jeremy Adams' last issue of this wonderful series. This was a couple of weeks late, yeah. But it came in, and I really, really enjoyed this book. Sad to see him go, but I will give Dan Abnett's issue 0 that's coming out in April. I'll give it a try. It'll stay on my pull list for a little while. Speaking of Jeremy Adams, Aquaman number 14, decent book, an interesting twist, and a good switch. And it's as close as I'm getting to KO. Seriously. G.I. Joe 325. You are so right about the sniper fight. This was good exhilarating entertainment. This is a good old fashioned war comic, and I'm here for it every month. Transformers 29 was a great book. I got the Corona cover and just another all out great Dan Mora book. This week I got Ultimate Spider-Man number 24. It was a decent book. Like we already covered it. Like there's not much to it. It lands the story and it's just okay. But the pick of the week is G.I. Joe Energon Universe number 19. I got this Chameleon variant cover since there wasn't a Baroness variant cover for me, so I took the next lady.
Second best thing, right?
The second best thing, exactly. Fun book, really good. A little bit more crossing over with Mask and the new Matt Tracker, but there was the announcement of Dan Waters having a Mask book come out for Energon Universe, and I was never a huge Mask fan. So I might take a break on that one. It might be Void Rivals and Mask that, I'm not going to buy. But I am getting Transformers and G.I. Joe. Once again, a fun book. And that is my pick of the week. And thank you so much. And it's good to be back. And I'll see you all in the funny pages.
Well, thank the lady for allowing you to spend time with us again.
Thank you, honey.
No, thank her for us. We appreciate it.
I will.
And somebody said that you should start your cooking show again and call it Only Pans.
Ooh, see, I like clever. That's a great. Thanks, Mel, man. That's a great. That's great. I might steal that.
Very nice. Last but not least, we do have the Docster. You got any books to recommend this week, dude?
Well, I did not go to the comic shop this week. I literally just haven't gotten there yet, mostly because I kept forgetting what fucking day it was.
Yeah, I'm going to
and so I think I'm going to stop today. I got to go to Ollie's too because I had a fan break, so I'm going to just buy another cheap one from there. But I will recommend that folks go check out the Doc Unfiltered episode that has our review of Absolute Batman, Big Dumb Batman number 17. Artist Eric Canetti, friend of the channel, excellent, amazing artist, and someone who is definitely a guy that him showing up on a book means I'm going to buy it. Even books I don't read. I have not read Big Dumb Batman, World's Dumbest Detective since issue number 1, but Eric Canetti being on it, I picked it up, and we have a really good, fun review of a fun, batshit insane fucking comic. And our discussion about Marvel's Comics Pro announcements. So go check that out. In the meantime, instead, we will go with I fucking love this cover.
How could you not?
Look at that. I know. Mark Silvestri doing Wolverine. This is a short little, well, not really, but I mean, it was like a little arc, but it was more connected to, this is back when it was still very episodic and kind of kept going and very serialized, with a conflict and, confrontation between Wolverine and Lady Deathstrike. And I think it had Puck in there as well. It's fucking cool. And then we will go with Spider-Man ASM 344. One, because I love Cardiac. The fucking character design is just so cool.
Did you get his figure?
I don't know. You know what? I saw it the other day and then didn't pull the trigger because, mostly because it was still full price.
Yeah.
And I was at Target and I was trying to see if I found anything else, but I should have bought it. I'm gonna buy it. I want it. I love that figure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's also the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, who 17 issues later will become Carnage. Then we will have, I didn't get to the store this week, so I did not get G.I. Joe, but instead I did find this in my collection. This G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. This is the Devil's Due run whenever they didn't continue the Larry Hama story and kind of tried to make a new series from about 2001. It had the Josh Blaylock story and everything, but especially I think it was like the first 3 or 5 issues. J. Scott Campbell covers, and I mean, come on, we all kind of want J. Scott Campbell to do some G.I. Joe, right? I mean, it just looks so toyetic. And then finally, even though Rob has the worst taste of writers, I still do not understand his fascination with Denise Camp. But
Rob thinks it's
maybe
deep.
I know Rob does. In fairness, compared to most of what Rob writes, it is. But you know, calling him this generation's Alan Moore, I believe, might be a little. Well, I think we've gone beyond verbal fellatio to like verbal eating it.
Rob's only good taste is in old X-Men comics. That's the only thing that he can speak on with any authority. His taste in movies is trash. His taste in other comic book writers is trash. You know, his own books.
Well, maybe Rob ran into Denise at the dispensary. You know,
It could have been. But New Mutants 100, last issue, right before it turns into X-Force. You basically, by this point in the last like 12 issues, he's basically replaced the entire team with his own creations. And so, getting ready to launch X-Force #1. This is a good, fun book. I love it. So, mine's 9.6. I got that, and I also have the second print and the third print. The gold one and the silver one. So, but first print with the very ASM 300 homage. So there you go. That's my recommendations for this week.
Well, very nice. I recommend everybody have a fantastic weekend. We will have best of the week with our good friend Drew up in a few hours, and this is a lot of fun, fellas. Anything else that you need to get out there?
USA.